Here today.
For a free Life Alert brochure, call 1-800-592-9031. That's 1-800-592-9031. Call now, 1-800-592-9031. For a free brochure, call 1-800-592-9031.
Years ahead. Look for the experience and commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
Atlantic Beach, Florida.
Oh, love it.
Houma, Louisiana.
Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas.
Been there.
Looneyville, Texas.
Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Weekday mornings, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, starting at 7.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 78 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You do it. All right, guys, looking at pictures across southern Ohio. Yeah, when you've got snow on the ground, you got a frozen ground, you got drain pipes that are clogged, certainly by or iced over, as the case would be up in through here. There's no place for that rain to go. Plus the fact that we've had 1 to 2 inches of rain come out of the sky. And we've got flooding across parts of West Virginia, southern Ohio, into Pennsylvania, and even into Kentucky, as this area has had 1 to 2 inches of rain. All right, let's walk over and talk to the NIS a little bit. Starting to see certainly a progress here of a nice area of snow and ice and heavy rain, and the cold front and the Arctic air continues to charge south. We got problems.
It is.
We got problems.
It's not only charging south, it's deepening as it's charging south too, and so it's going to change us from rain into that freezing precipitation and probably sleet, and then into snow. Look at KC right now, 19 degrees, Jim, and that cold air is going to work its way down across here as we get into the
you know
overnight.
what's scary about this too is sometimes you'll go from rain to freezing rain. Temperatures are dropping through the 20s, then snow on top of that. You don't know there's ice developing underneath that.
And it is very slick underneath
That's
there.
a disaster. So all this advances across Missouri to Kentucky to Pennsylvania as we go into tonight, and the model shows that.
Yeah, and by the way, you mentioned the heavy rain. We've also got a situation, the rain is swelling some of these creeks that have ice cover on them.
Yeah,
it's breaking up the ice, producing ice jams as well. So all kinds of things going on. This is the wave of this colder air that moves in, changes the precipitation over to snow, and it's going to snow heavily in places like Lexington.
That's the first wave.
Yeah.
Right? So then we get into tonight, that upper low in the southwest starts to lift out, and then there'll be another wave of precipitation that comes on through. So we're done, really, mostly done by tomorrow morning across the Ohio Valley.
Yes, but in the wake of that, the temperatures are so cold that we're going to have that ice up there. And then the precipitation moves eastward.
All right, so here's the snowfall forecast for that region. So a lot of this will come between now and tomorrow morning. That's a 24-hour snowfall forecast right there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the D.C. We know it's warm today, I-95, get your stuff done. But at Reagan National tomorrow, we may have enough energy with that second push to give us the biggest storm of the season.
And it continues, and it continues throughout the day tomorrow. So with temperatures dropping, here's that rain that is moving across the area now. But as you say, we're going to get into that second part of that storm system, and tomorrow you're going to see the temperatures drop.
Before we get there, though, do you think this is going to be a little bit of an overachiever, the leading edge of this? Because the front's already coming through central PA. You kind of got to wonder, State College, Harrisburg?
It may very well be, but I don't think we get the real push of cold air into here, into that precipitation
until we get
overnight tonight. Yeah.
All right, so there it is. Again, even at 9 o'clock tonight, Philly, D.C., Baltimore, you should be fine on the I-95, but it's really after midnight, things start going down.
Yeah, and you actually see the snow developing in New York ahead of Washington because you're in a little bit warmer air down here. But then as you get into the morning hours, here's 6 a.m., and that's it. And it will continue.
Are you concerned at all that some of the high-resolution models have backed off on the QPF or on the amounts of frozen?
One of the areas I'm a little concerned about is New York City. Now, New York City is going to get some snowfall, but, whether it's going to get 6 inches of snow or 3 inches is a question mark. Nevertheless, they are going to get enough snow to slicken things
Either way,
up.
a messy rush hour tomorrow morning. So Philly, Baltimore, and Reagan National could have their biggest storms of the season.
In March. That is the hammer. That's the Thor hammer. I mean, that is really going to get them.
So today's the lightning, tomorrow's the hammer.
You got it.
For the Mid-Atlantic. All right, let's go. Speaking of the hammer, the cold air obviously was hanging in there for February, but signs of change potentially as we get into the next week.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks like the jet stream is going to be in more of a zonal or a west-east flow here, and a good part of the U.S. here is going to rebound nicely.
Yeah, I mean, so many areas just in dire need of a thaw. Just even a little ego boost here. It's like, when will we finally get into spring? Even up into southern Canada.
Yeah, I mean,
brutally cold.
Is it going to be spring fever? I mean, we're going to get close to that, right?
Yeah. The cabin fever may change to spring fever as we get to next week. Sam will keep you posted out here in the studio. Back to you.
Made me happy just looking at it. Made me happy. I feel like everybody at home was going,
thank you.
Yeah, exactly. All right, we've got a lot of images.
A slushy mess across the Northeast. We have schools delayed or closed in parts of 5 states. Connecticut, you're in it this morning. Take a look at this picture coming out of the Connecticut area. Hartford, Fairfield County, this is what you're seeing on the ground. Flooding as much as 2 inches, according to this person. And of course, this is causing a number of hazardous travel accidents on 91 and 95. We've seen them all morning. We've been telling you about it. The next picture coming out of New York, slush on the roadways there as well. School districts also running on a delay here. Mamaroneck. And then our last picture, State College, Pennsylvania. Penn State delaying classes until 10 a.m. because of this.
The slush.
Just slush and ice caked on the roadways.
The weather geeks and the students there are really loving this. And the meteorology department.
And Penn State's a big weather school. All right, but it's one of those new threats because, we've been talking about getting the snow off the roads, a little bit of rain, taking that snowpack down, slushing everything up, and you can't get any traction on that this morning.
Then it gets cold and ice is over.
Yeah, that's the next plan. Okay, but listen to this. So a scientist stranded alone on a frozen island, 34 days and counting, no end in sight. All right, if it was a movie, I'd watch it. But this is someone's real life. We're going to talk to her next.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
Introducing Dance All You Want Bladder Leak Protection. New Always Discreet underwear for sensitive bladders. From Always, the experts in feminine protection. New Always Discreet underwear absorbs heavy bladder leaks faster than the leading brand, so you can feel comfortably dry. Plus, Always Discreet has a discreet fit that hugs your curves. You barely feel it. New Always Discreet underwear. Now bladder leaks can feel like no big deal because, hey, pee happens. Curious? Go to alwaysdiscreet.com for coupons and your free sample.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. Now available over the counter in full prescription strength. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6. And 6 is greater than 1. Flonase, the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 allergy pill. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Great. This is the last thing I need.
Seriously? The last thing you need is some guy giving you a new catalytic converter when all you got is a loose gas cap.
What?
It is that simple sometimes.
Thanks.
Now, let's take this puppy over to Midas and get you some of the good old Midas touch. You know what? I'll drive. And I have no feet. I really didn't think this through.
Trust the Midas Touch for brakes, tires, oil, everything.
You can't predict the market. But at T. Rowe Price, we've helped guide our clients through good times and bad. Our experienced investment professionals are one reason over 85% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So in a variety of markets, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
There was a time when the sea gave way to the sky, raising an amazing destination like no other. Atlantis. Book now and receive rates from $179 per night for May and June travel, and up to a $200 resort credit for travel now through summer. Hurry, offer ends March 11th. Visit AtlantisBahamas.com.
This March, one man's trash, this is perfect, is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, partly cloudy, high 83. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey, good morning, everyone. 6 a.m. in Los Angeles. Wow. Just as we were talking about all the cold and the snow in the east, look at this. Not just 1 month, but the whole winter. San Francisco, Redwood, San Jose, San Rafael, and Santa Cruz, all the warmest winters on record. And you can see where these dates were broken way back when. So just an incredibly warm winter here. But we're, of course, back east talking about the cold, because that's where all the action is. Everybody gets to share some of that warmth next week, as Niz and I were just talking about, and the jet stream starts to flatten out. But really cool when you kind of look at some of these features out and through here. We've got an upper low down to the south. We've got another one up in North Dakota here. This one continues to drive the cold air southward. And remember, cold air is more dense, so it's just going to keep on chugging down into Texas. Cold front moving at about 15 miles per hour right now through Oklahoma, and it's going to continue to move off toward the east. And then this upper low comes and develops a wave on the front and comes right back over that cold air. So that's why we're talking about this long, drawn-out precipitation event that we've got going on and through here. Now, the latest wave of moisture, which you can see is pretty abundant across Missouri, into Arkansas, Oklahoma, and on to Kansas. Kansas is deep into the cold air now, as is much of north central Missouri. That's why you're all snow. But where we get that transition, this is where the problems lie. Tulsa, right now, some freezing rain. Springfield as well. Both of you will go over to snow eventually. But before you get there, be careful on the roads. And remember, the road surfaces may be just above freezing now. But once the snow starts falling on top of that, everybody starts to freeze, because the snow is at 32 degrees, as we know. All right, so 53 at Memphis, 51 at Little Rock, 48 as we take you on toward Dallas. I think the problems here lie in the post-sun time. In other words, after the sun goes down. All right, still watching the cold air chug to the south, and it's kind of interesting. We've got 2 batches of precipitation that are a little bit more robust on the current radar than the models are showing. So this could be interesting, certainly, for Oklahoma and North Texas. So driving to work this morning, as we mentioned, Interstate 30, 40, we are fine. Getting home tonight, I still think we're mostly fine, but notice again, Memphis right on the cusp, back toward Fort Smith, and certainly Oklahoma City. Big problems in through here, and it won't take you too far north out of Dallas to get into those problems as well. All right, Memphis, in the midst of a pretty wild ride. Chris Warren is there for us this morning. And Chris, even you, since you started broadcasting this morning, have probably felt a little bit colder than certainly what you started with.
Yeah, certainly, Jim. Temperatures overnight, and talking about building up to midnight, it was getting warmer. Around 8 o'clock last night or so, it was around 60 degrees. Went up to 63, and it was 63 about an hour before and after midnight, and then down about 10 degrees. And it's still going to keep going. It is going to get colder and colder throughout the day. So as we look right now, commuters heading to work into the Memphis area, we look at the roads here. A lot of cars cruising through. This is just wet right now. But as you're walking out the door here in Memphis and surrounding areas, parts of the Mid-South, this is going to look totally different by tomorrow morning. Even if you're planning to work late, not a good idea. Or go get some drinks or some dinner after work, probably not the best idea, because we're going to watch eventually the light precipitation we're seeing right now and all that green on the radar eventually is going to change over. It's going to be ice, possibly starting off with freezing rain. If the surface of the objects get cold enough down below freezing, the liquid water will freeze on contact, otherwise sleet. So the partially melted or totally melted snowflakes will refreeze before hitting the ground, and then it'll bounce and you'll be able to hear it. That's the sleet. And then it's snow. We're looking at breaking a daily record snowfall total for tomorrow. 1.3, I believe, is the standing record. Could see 3 to 5 inches, so smashing that. And then by Friday morning, with this Arctic air in place, we're going to see temperatures drop down to around 10 degrees. That would also crush the standing day temperature. So, I mean, we're looking at some record cold, and we're looking at the potential for some record snowfall tomorrow. Again, as we look outside right now, looking at just a little bit of drizzle. People are going along with their normal business here, driving to work, maybe heading into town, heading into Memphis. But if they stay late, again, we're looking at the possibility of ice on the roads. Now, as far as treating these roads, there's nothing the DOT can do right now because of the rain. So that's one thing they have to deal with as well. You have to wait until it really starts before you can start treating. They can put down the solution now. You can put down the sand. However, the cars going by and the rain itself will wash it away. So right now, DOT on a standby mode right now. And Sam, we are looking again at some very cold temperatures. After a taste of spring, winter is certainly not done with Memphis, not by a long shot.
I don't want anyone to be surprised by this. So if you were just watching Chris Warren, you have all the information. Text your friends and tell them this is going to be a very difficult situation that happens tonight about your drive home. Chris Warren giving you the heads up in Memphis, and it's not just Memphis, it's all of Tennessee. There are plenty of places, by the way, where the temperature will drop 20 to 30 degrees in just 12 hours, and that's including the I-40 corridor, Jennifer.
Yeah, and looking across I-40, it's been really kind of rough over the last about 10 days with all the snow that's been coming down there. And we show you right now, we want to try this out for you and kind of time this out. Winter Storm Thor, this is how we're going to be tracking the temperatures, because the cold air is just going to come in with a big roar. Yes, I played on the words there a little bit, roar and Thor. But 11 a.m., here are the temperatures out there, and you notice for yourself, we're looking at rain, 44 degrees in Memphis. By 2 o'clock, you're dropping down to 37. That's the time you should be warming up, getting close to your high of the day. 5 o'clock in the afternoon, dropping down to the freezing mark. Adding in the icy roadways possible anywhere you're looking at temperatures getting much colder. This is 5 o'clock. And then 8 p.m., icy conditions, and 11 o'clock, you get the idea as that cold air just continues to spill in. 29 degrees at 11 p.m. And then notice for areas elsewhere, they're in the blue as well. So they're also going to be looking at temperatures in the 20s, Sam.
Icy, 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 crashing temps. Hey, we were watching, and if you were with us this morning, you were following it too. This dense fog all along the coast, particularly in Norfolk, Virginia. So a plane goes missing, 4 people on board. Anna Rittis has the latest. Good morning, Anna Rittis.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. Here's what we know now. Heavy fog from Thor may have played a role in that plane crash in Norfolk, Virginia this morning. Officials believe 4 people were aboard that plane. 2 have been confirmed dead. Searchers found the plane at the Norfolk Botanical Garden. And we're going to talk to a Coast Guard rescue pilot about this crash in just a moment. Meantime, Thor is shutting down schools in Oklahoma City and Tulsa today. Some schools, but not all, are closed in the Cincinnati, St. Louis, and Louisville, Kentucky metros. Airlines have canceled more than 850 flights so far. And FlightAware.com reports the majority of those flights coming out of Dallas-Fort Worth International. Of course, you help us tell part of the weather story. This picture is coming out of Kentucky. Ice in the back of my house on the driveway. We also have a picture of a foggy Dallas this morning, a stretch of I-20. But take a look at Kansas. It's happening. It's happening. Be sure to bundle up. I'm reading the monitor from way afar. So there it is, Dallas, Texas. Dense fog advisory in effect right now. That's a stretch of I-20, Sam, and they're going to feel the temperatures later on today. You've been talking about the temperature drop in the next 12 hours. You're going to drop 20 degrees. Stay with us. We continue to track Thor on your Weather Channel right after your look on the ice.
Service to aisle 3, please. Service to aisle 3.
I am your father.
We all have a Disney side. And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
I knew instantly that this was, wow. It's Crest HD. It's amazing.
Go Pro with new Crest Pro Health HD.
It's 2 steps. First one, cleans. Second one, polishes and whitens. By isolating key ingredients, each step focuses on their separate jobs.
Crest HD gives you a 6 times healthier mouth and 6 times whiter teeth in just 1 week.
I mean, it gets practically every detail. That's why it's called HD.
Try new Crest Pro Health HD. Life opens up with a healthier mouth.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch. One man's trash. This is perfect. Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Current. Today, partly cloudy, high 83, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Thursday, intervals of clouds and sunshine, high 85, winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
If you have moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis like me, and you're talking to your rheumatologist about a biologic, this is Humira. This is Humira helping to relieve my pain and protect my joints from further damage. This is Humira giving me new perspective. Doctors have been prescribing Humira for 10 years. Humira works for many adults. It targets and helps to block a specific source of inflammation that contributes to RA symptoms.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Talk to your doctor and visit Humira.com. This is Humira at Work.
10 minutes after the hour, I want to update you on some breaking news that's going on this morning. I'm looking right now at News Channel 3's website, WTKR television in the Norfolk area. They are saying that 2 people have been confirmed dead following a plane crash on Wednesday, according to state police. So they're crediting state police with that information. The aircraft was found in the Enchanted Forest section off Azalea Garden Road. This is in the Norfolk area. Now, it's the plane that we were following that was reported lost or missing in the very dense fog very early this morning. Along with state troopers, along with the FAA, are on the scene conducting the crash investigation. Again, that information coming out of News Channel 3 right there in the Norfolk area. Now, multiple agencies are piecing together, trying to find out what happened to this Cessna-sized plane. It's actually a plane that's very similar. It's a Mooney 20, and it's a plane that actually I know very well because my grandfather used to fly a Mooney Ranger. I grew up in this plane. It's a 4-seater, very small plane, and of course that was lost. They lost communication in the Norfolk area around 4:30 this morning. Now, the plane has been located. Joining us by Skype is Coast Guard Lieutenant Matthew Kroll with the Air Station Atlantic City. Hey, Lieutenant, thank you so much for joining us, just so we can understand a little bit more about what a rescue like this entails. So from early this morning, and correct me if I'm wrong at any point here, early this morning, we're getting reports that around that scene, the fog was less than 25 yards visibility. So we're talking about very dense, heavy pea soup fog, and the plane goes missing. What happens from that when you get a call like that?
Well, first of all, as a pilot, I'd just like to say that hearing about crashes like this are very difficult. So definitely my heart and my prayers go out to the victims' families as more information comes in. As far as dealing with hazards when you're out flying, the big thing when you're flying is you're trying to get as much information as you can from your surroundings. We call it situational awareness. And a lot of times that plays into factors of why planes crash because you lose your situational awareness. When you have restrictions to visibility or you get what's called task saturated, if you're working so hard just to keep the plane where you want it to be, you start losing that information and you kind of start, just losing your situational awareness, which can cause you to make minor errors or to miss that information and you just don't make the right decisions. So that usually has a good factor in what goes on. And when we go out searching in a plane crash like this or an incident where weather and visibility are one of the factors, we want to do our best job just to stay out of those hazards as well.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot more preparation on us to get out there, and we have to take our time, take things nice and slow, and really we're just trying to add information to the investigation.
Absolutely. And, the Mooney is a well-built, safe plane. And we should say that, again, I feel that panic right now, just even talking about it and trying to fly instruments in a very, very dense fog. I understand exactly what you just said. Let's talk a little bit about what the Coast Guard goes into. So if you can't get a helicopter in there to try to get some visual ID on what's going around the area, I know that they launched some boats this morning, but that's got to be difficult in fog as well.
Yes, just like driving in a car in fog is very difficult. If you're on the freeway or the highway and you're going 80 miles an hour and all of a sudden you can barely see, 25, 50 yards in front of you, it's common instinct just to slow down because you don't want to outrun your reaction time.
Yeah.
So the boats have to do the exact same thing. If you can't just bomb out in like 30 knots, 40 knots, just trying to get on scene. You have to take it nice and easy so you make sure that you can actually get on scene to do the searching.
Tragic, tragic situation, and it is just another reminder of how dangerous something that we think can be very simple, like fog, can be. Lieutenant Matthew Kroll, thank you so much for kind of filling us in on what this is like this morning for rescuers to try to get into a scene that is so densely fogged in. Jen, we've got a little bit going on in Dallas as well this morning with that changeover. Let's get them updated.
Yeah, that's right. And we continue to track Winter Storm Thor. We want to look at an area like Dallas where the weather is just so crucial, especially right around drive time. Notice rainy as well as windy as we go 2 to 5 o'clock, and then by 8 o'clock, those temperatures will continue to drop. We go from 34 to 31 degrees. Numbers are going to be falling quickly. That means the roadways are going to be icy tomorrow morning. We'll continue our coverage of Winter Storm Thor right here on AMHQ. Be right back.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
Lowe's presents How to Make a Friend Speak When She's Speechless.
Wow, Kim, I'm speechless. Your new bathroom looks so beautiful, I can't even talk right now. I literally can't even open my mouth to talk.
Now get the Moen Caldwell faucet for $79 at Lowe's.
Dude, Totino's blasted rolls. Sweet.
Totino's blasted crust rolls.
Yeah.
Flavor it full blast.
When you set out to find new roads, you obsess over perfection. Evolve function. Elevate form. And create the highest quality midsize sedan. Chevrolet, the most awarded car company of 2014.
Right now, get 0% APR financing for 6 years plus $1,000 purchase bonus cash on this 2014 Cruise.
Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
Whether you need a warm-up before the big race or a healthy start before the big meeting, there's a Choice Hotel that's waiting for you. This spring, choose Choice twice, get a night at no price at 1,500 hotels. Book now at choiceHotels.com.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature.
Over 200,000 people are hospitalized every year with flu complications. So to kill the germs that may make your family sick, we recommend using Lysol disinfectant spray every day. Lysol is approved to kill 80 germs. including hard-to-kill viruses that can live on surfaces for over 4 weeks. It works on hard and soft surfaces to help stop the spread of bacteria. So help keep your family healthy with Lysol.
Congratulations, you're down with Crestor.
Yes! When diet and exercise aren't enough, adding Crestor lowers bad cholesterol up to 55%. Crestor is not for people with liver disease or women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor all medicines you take. Call your doctor if you have muscle pain or weakness, feel unusually tired, have loss of appetite, upper belly pain, dark urine, or yellowing of skin or eyes. These could be signs of serious side effects.
I'm down with Crestor.
Make your move. Ask your doctor about Crestor.
A claim, so act now. The call and consultation are free.
Call 1-800-307-9899.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Secret. Fearlessness Apply Daily.
With Secret Outlast Clear Gel, you're ready no matter how long your day gets.
Stay still, like a statue.
All right, sweetie.
Just like a statue. Just one more. Hold still, like a statue.
Really?
Look here. Look at this, where'd he go? All right.
Our new formula gives you 48-hour odor protection and goes on clear for no white marks. Secret Outlast Clear Gel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear. Low 73, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85, winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to AMHQ. Breaking now, of course, in Dorchester, Mass. Not a lot of precipitation last night, but enough to just tip the threshold here. We got a roof collapse again. Notice again a flat roof that's got quite a weight load on there in terms of the snow and the melted snow and the ice and everything else that's fallen up and through there. And hence, there goes the roof. We understand that nobody was inside. This may be one of, again, guys, about 200 roof collapses that have occurred so far this season. And remember, we may get another couple of inches of snow and or certainly a little bit of precipitation that's coming up tonight and tomorrow morning. All right, let's talk about this. We'll start you off in Boston. Seidel's there. We're going to go to him in a minute. A mild morning, 37 degrees. That's pretty crazy in itself because you'll hear in a moment from Mike just how long it's been since we've even been 40 up in Boston. You think 40's nothing, but we haven't been there in a long time. We head back toward the west. It's snowing in Pittsburgh. Raining mostly heavy down to the Allegheny Airport, but down through Charleston, back down through Lexington, heavy rain through there, through Louisville as well. Here's the next wave of frozen right here, and you can see it across Kansas. Wichita, it's snowing. Springfield, moderate snow coming down right now. Kansas City, some moderate snow for you as well. Watch out in Tulsa, freezing rain. Some of the stations just to the north of Tulsa, by the way, at about 25 degrees. So we hope for a changeover to snow here pretty quick. And some of these areas where we've got the freezing rain, we're going to get snow packed in a big, big hurry. So be careful, guys, if you're heading up and through here. Looks like some ice starting to break out between Lubbock and Amarillo. Be careful back and through here. Again, Dallas, Memphis, I think you're going to have to wait till after the sun goes down to really get into the problems. You may get some frozen, but I think the problems begin after the sun goes down. So here we are, 7:30 tonight, Little Rock, Memphis, again, through tomorrow morning. Nashville, you'll be into this. And remember, all of these areas will be well behind the cold front at this point. So you're talking about very, very cold temperatures in addition to whatever falls with the snow and ice, and everything's just going to refreeze. So right now, again, between the sleet and the snow in Memphis, 1/4 to a 1/2 inch, this is interesting. I think we're going to have some big problems tomorrow in the Trans-Pecos all the way over to Austin and San Antonio. I-35 south of Dallas could actually be worse than I-35 to the north of Dallas. Snowfall will be heavy, especially as we head over toward Kentucky and right on into Philadelphia, Baltimore, and also at Reagan National, where we could have the biggest storm of the season there. One of the rare times, Mike Seidel, as we bring him in from Boston, that we actually beat Boston in terms of a storm total. How about that?
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. You know how those March storms are, especially you've been there at Reagan Airport, Jim, where you think it's going to add up and it just doesn't add up because of the urban heat island effect, and we'll see how they shakes out. They need 4.8 to top their biggest snowfall last month. Well, we've had more than that here. Certainly, we've had over 8.5 feet of snow is piled everywhere here at Christopher Columbus Park. But the big news this morning is how mild it is. It's been in the upper 30s. This is the warmest morning we've had since I checked back December 28th. If we get to 40 today, the first time in 6 weeks. Let's take a look first at the whole northeast picture today. We still got some rain down along the coast from the Cape and the islands. That extends all the way back, and that's going to continue to be a problem today in New York City, Philadelphia, D.C., but it's all rain. Then tonight, after midnight, that cold air will seep in across the mountains. It's not going to be a rapid drop in temperature. So early in the morning, we'll see that snow, the rain change to sleet, freezing rain, and then to snow in Washington, where we have a warning up for 5 to 8 inches of snow there. Up to Philadelphia, New York City, you'll change over. And then tomorrow, we've got dry air coming into Boston, fighting the moisture coming up from the north. So right now in Boston, we don't think we're going to break the record. We need 2 inches, and if it snows 2 inches, it's probably going to be down towards Hyannis and Chatham and the Cape and the islands, and down towards the coastal areas of Rhode Island and Connecticut. As far as our forecast goes for the next 5 days, a big improvement here, except that it's going to get cold again after we get through a little bit of snow tomorrow here in Boston, Jim. Temperatures on Friday morning down to 10, staying below freezing. Then we'll work ourselves up to a moderating trend into early next week. And if we don't break the record tomorrow, Jim, we may have a weight on our hands in Boston, but with highs in the upper 30s and low 40s and no rain in the forecast, that's the perfect prescription for that melt, a slow melt here in the Boston area through the weekend. By the way, this weekend is the shortest weekend of the year.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. Now available over the counter in full prescription strength. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6. And 6 is greater than 1. Flonase, the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 allergy pill. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. So großartige Autos werden nur in Deutschland gebaut. Ach verdammt! I said it 3 times and it's still not true.
Performance is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
Is your back acting up again? Is lower back pain a daily drain? If you're one of the millions who suffer from the agony of lower back pain, you need Be Active, the revolutionary new pressure system that helps ease discomfort in your lower back, buttocks, and legs. Watch. Just slip on Be Active and tighten the strap. You'll soon begin experiencing pain relief. Look, back pain often radiates from the lower back to your lower extremities. But apply Be Active to the point in the calf muscle to relieve pain. The secret is the pressure pad that gently compresses, alleviating pain to the nerve and lower back.
Be Active provides firm pressure behind the knee on the specific pressure point, which can help relieve the pain and suffering from sciatica.
I just slide it on, I tighten the strap, I feel the pressure point right behind my knee, and right away I feel the release of pain in my lower back.
Wow, I can feel comfort already.
It's like right away relief.
I just put it on, but I can feel it already easing the pain.
You can't see the relief? I can feel it.
It kind of feels like it's relaxing that muscle.
But now I don't feel the pain at all. This is really something.
Be Active gives you the ability to be active again Wear it while exercising. Keep up with the kids. It's invisible under clothing, comfortable enough to sleep in. Be Active easily adjusts to fit almost any leg. Be Active is always there to deliver the pain relief you need. Now, feel the freedom of being active again with the Pressure Point Therapy of Be Active for just $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing. If you don't begin to feel quick back relief, send it back and owe nothing. You get it all for just $19.99. So call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-732-6143. That's 1-800-732-6143. Or go online at beactivebrace.com. Call or click today. That's 1-800-732-6143.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bet.
One man's trash
This is perfect.
is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 79 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Welcome back to AMHQ, 29 minutes after the hour. When I look at Jennifer Delgado, I think of her like the sun. She wakes me up across the country as we go across the country. So we're going to do that with you this morning. Yeah.
I'm kind of flattered. I thought you were going to say when you look at me, you get hungry because we're always talking about food.
We're always talking about food. But we're looking at you, Houston, this morning. Fog has been a big story across the country
Really
and the
soupy out
South all week. We've got more in Texas to talk about. This is from the Florida Panhandle, and it goes all the way into San Antonio today. Austin, you've been in it as well. The Carolinas, you're in this fog. Virginia, you certainly are in it.
And you've seen the temperature 70 degrees. I mean, that's really incredible right now, and there's a big change on the way. But good morning to you, Denver. We always give you a lot of love. And winter storm warning for the ski areas. It's in place until 9 o'clock for Lake City and Telluride. Currently 10 degrees there, so a 60-degree difference between you and Houston, a low 9 of 7 degrees. Now, yesterday we talked about the jelly in Denver.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Today, we are going to send you to Devil's Food Bakery and Cookery. You know, I am all about bakery goods. And, you know, so is Tammy here, our floor director. We love the sweets. But some people say they have really good shrimp and grits.
Shrimp and grits are awesome. But they also...
I think they're more of a side dish, though.
They make up... Well, yeah, and I'm fine with them for breakfast. They serve with garlic and shallots, jalapeno, and tender belly bacon. Now, I don't know.
You got me there.
I don't know what tender belly bacon
but
is.
But it sounds real good.
But I want some.
It sounds even fattier.
I want some.
It does.
Jim?
Yeah, I'm swallowing right now before I do my segment, okay? Yeah. All right, let's talk about this. This is incredible, guys. We got flood warnings out all over the place within the flood watches in through here, so be careful. Some of the roads and creeks coming, or some of the creeks coming over the roads. No homes flooded, so we like that. And the problem is the rain's going to last a little while longer. Look at this, Pittsburgh all the way down to Louisville. Now, Pittsburgh's actually seen some snow, but down to the south and the southern part of the county, it is still raining. Awesome graphic here. Thank you, Brandon. Look at this. You can clearly see the warm, moist air down to the south. Look at Jackson, Houston, 70, New Orleans, 71. Look at the front, Sam. There it is, right there. Look at that. you can really pick out that front. And of course, the precipitation, remember, we don't have a deep layer of cold air yet, so it's still raining there. But as you go deeper behind into the cold air, look at Oklahoma City, 32 right now, and of course, obviously deep enough here for an all snow situation. But moderate snow from Springfield down across southern parts of Missouri. Boy, I'll tell you, if you're going from Springfield up to St. Louis through Rolla, you got a mess on your hands. Tulsa is freezing rain at 28 degrees right now, and as you can see, there's plenty of moisture to fuel that Arctic front and that energy that still has to come out of California. So that's why you'll notice we still have this strung out area of precipitation, but the cold air is still sinking to the south. So Nashville, Little Rock, all the way up into the mid-Atlantic for tomorrow morning's rush hour, we have an absolute mess on our hands. And everything here that falls frozen or even rain is going to freeze by tomorrow morning. Awful. Awful situation.
All right, but heads up, everyone's got to be aware now, Jim, and we'll watch it throughout the day. Hey, there's another round of snow also coming from the northeast. You're going to wake up with temperatures that are incredibly cold behind the system as well, and that's just fine for a special group of pilots who take off and land on the only ice runway in the lower 48 states. Okay, Jim, Kerry Sanders found this. Kerry Sanders is on Lake Winnipesaukee this morning. Kerry, my friend, I know you do a lot of adventurous stuff, but you let them land you on ice on a lake. Are you kidding me, in a plane?
It's amazing because right now I'm standing on Lake Winnipesaukee. This is frozen Lake Winnipesaukee, and you can see the plane here. It's about 1,500 pounds when it comes in and hits the ice, and pilots from all over the nation have been coming here because this is the only ice runway sanctioned by the FAA in the lower 48, and for pilots, nothing could be better than to test their skills landing on the ice.
This is Lake Winnipesaukee.
At 71 square miles, Lake Winnipesaukee is as big as Brooklyn.
We're at 1,000 feet right now.
But it's one tiny remote patch on this frozen spot that's landed a unique pin on America's map. Ice runway B-18.
The ice is great right now. The conditions couldn't be better. We've got about 28 inches to 30 inches of ice.
No surprise, in the last 30 days, the temperature here has been as low as -14, and only twice, for a few hours at that, did it climb above freezing. Pilots say takeoffs pump their adrenaline, but landings are the real nail-biter because wheels and skis on ice have no brakes.
Yes, it is a challenge, landing on ice and taxiing. Sometimes it's windy and it's very, very challenging to control the aircraft.
I'm a devout coward myself and proud of it, so I only come over here when the conditions are very favorable.
The runway here on Lake Winnipesaukee is 3,000 feet long. They plowed it to make it so just about any private plane can come in here. This one here, this goes back to the Korean War. He needs just 300 feet to take off. In summer, this huge lake is filled with recreational boaters, but now the unplowed lake is an open runway for planes equipped with skis. They can land anywhere.
There's nowhere you can't land.
Yeah, just about. We've got the skis and got some power, and yeah, this is our playground.
Volunteers first began plowing this FAA-sanctioned ice runway in 1979. Since then, there have been minor mishaps like sliding uncontrollably into snowbanks, but no planes have crashed here or fallen through the ice. The New Hampshire Department of Transportation shuts it down at the end of the month, even if the ice is still 2 feet thick.
We only get about 25 days that we can really use it. That's your short window.
If you're a pilot, you got to come here.
Sam, this is the only airport where ice doesn't ground the planes.
Are you kidding me?
Thoughts?
Did you just say minor mishaps like planes sliding uncontrollably into snowbanks? That's a minor mishap, Kerry?
Well, the planes haven't crashed. I mean, yes, maybe somebody had banged their head, but I mean, I thought a plane like this coming in, even with I saw cracks in the ice. I thought they might hit, and if they hit hard, go down into the water. Hasn't happened, remarkably.
Kerry Sanders will go anywhere, do anything. And Kerry, here's a challenge Jim Cantore's laid out for you. He says the real challenge is to go back in July when the water temperature is still around 60 and swim in it. He says that's worse than standing on top of it. I'll take his word for it.
I agree.
All right, Carrie Sanders, thank you so much for showing us something cool. Anna Rittis with the news of the day.
Good morning, Sam. Good morning to you at home. We begin to update you with that developing story out of Virginia. Authorities there now confirm 2 people are dead in that small plane crash in Norfolk. The plane went down at the Norfolk Botanical Garden. The pilot was apparently trying to land at the airport in heavy fog. In Massachusetts, opening statements today in the trial of the Boston bombing suspect Dzhokhar Tsarnaev. It took nearly 2 months to seat a jury with several delays due to snow. Tsarnaev charged with 30 counts in the attack. 17 of those carry the death penalty. And gas prices may be about to tank again. The U.S. is producing and importing far more oil than we're using. So much storage tanks may be full by mid-April. One analyst sees crude falling from $50 to $20 a barrel. Sam, in Cushing, Oklahoma, is the oil storage capital of America. The small town has tanks that can hold up to 85 million barrels of crude oil.
I'm telling you, and I'm sure that AMHQ is the only show that's bringing you that story. That is such an interesting story. But I need a break from the snow and ice.
We all need a break, Sam. And you know what? So many people were saying we need to get away from the cold weather. There's this perfect place to go. It's called Disneyland. But today we have 3 cities on the wicked list, and those include Dallas, Memphis, as well as into Pittsburgh. And we're not just talking rain out there. We're talking snow as well as low visibility right now for Pittsburgh. Now, there's a place where you can all escape and you can take your kids and they'll have fun too. Disney Magical Morning Forecast. The only complaint, you might need some sunblock when you're waiting in line, right? High today, 70.
This Magical Morning Forecast is brought to you by Disney Parks.
Here you are. Anything I can do to make your stay more magical?
Well, I wish we could have even more park time.
Have dinner with the princess? I want to ride the monorail.
Oh, and take a break by the pool.
But be back in time for fireworks?
Let me see what I can do.
When you stay at a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel, you get the most out of your vacation and your family. And now you'll save up to 25% off a select Walt Disney World Resort hotel room.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
You again. Gorilla Glue. Of course.
Water activated, original Gorilla Glue expands into the materials to form an incredibly strong bond for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
The future of the market is never clear, but at T. Rowe Price, we can help guide your retirement savings. Our experience is one reason 100% of our retirement funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So wherever your long-term goals take you, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
There's a hot offer for heartburn sufferers. Now try Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com. Hurry, it's free this week only. No pill relieves heartburn faster. Get Zantac free at ZantacOffers.com.
How do Crest 3D white strips compare to a whitening toothpaste? Let's see.
The paste didn't seem to do much for me. The white strips made a huge difference. But that's not fair.
Crest white strips work below the enamel surface to whiten 25 times better than a leading whitening toothpaste. Crest white strips, the way to whiten.
Hi, Phil Swift here. This is FlexShot.
The easy way to caulk, bond, and seal virtually everything.
And it's so easy to use. Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs with pinpoint accuracy. FlexShot fills huge cracks and holes, making everything completely waterproof.
FlexShot comes out nice and thick. It fills in large cracks and holes, and when you stop, it stops. And it dries to this, a super tough, stretchy rubber. It expands and contracts.
Water gushes out of this huge hole. But after it's sealed with FlexShot, there's absolutely no leaks. That's amazing. FlexShot is a super strong adhesive. It's ideal for all your repairs.
To show you the strength of FlexShot, I'm going to blast holes in that boat with this cannon. Ready? Look at all this damage, and we're going to repair it using FlexShot. FlexShot sealed every hole. Imagine what you can do with the power of FlexShot.
This incredible formula lasts up to 30 years and is mildew resistant, perfect for kitchens and baths.
Messy caulks dry out. What a waste. But with FlexShot, there's no waste. You can use it over and over again.
You can get FlexShot for just $19.99. Plus, we'll include this extension tube. But wait, we're going to double your order. That's 2 cans of FlexShot. Plus, I'll throw in a free handy can of Flex Seal, the easy way to stop leaks fast. You get it all for just $19.99. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-738-4541. That's 1-800-738-4541. Or go to FlexShotTVOffer.com. This offer is not available in stores, so call or click now.
42 minutes past the top of the hour. Yes, the iconic Golden Gate Bridge this morning. Good morning, San Francisco. Looking good. Clear, sunny skies. We're a little chilly this morning at 49, but we get up to 67 degrees. As we continue our look toward the west, California's Department of Water Resources is taking a third survey of the Sierra snowpack. Statewide water content, just 19% of historical average. Crystal Egger, I mean, this is incredible. We got a couple of storms early on and just of recent, but just not enough. I mean, this looks just like last year, doesn't it, in the Sierra?
Exactly. And, you know, we're flirting with record low levels again, Jim, with our snowpack. So we just can't get ahead. And it's pretty frustrating. Each storm that comes in dumps a little snow, and then we go several weeks without any wet weather at all. And our wet season is, you know, winding down. So there's not much hope in taking off some of this deficit. Our hopes are dwindling here with each week. Here's the current Sierra snow depth. As Jim mentioned, the survey yesterday showed 19% of the statewide average. So we are now far below normal and could end up with the lowest snowpack on record. Heading into our 4th consecutive year of drought here, the snowpack is critical for our water supply. 1/3 of the state's water comes from that snow. Here's our monthly average rainfall for Los Angeles. March is still a wet month for us. April, we average nearly an inch of rain, so hopefully we see those April showers. You know, only time will tell, Jim, but at this point, we're going to be hearing a lot more about conservation in the weeks to come. There is a hint at some rain in California early next week, so fingers crossed.
Yeah, but certainly not the big blockbuster pattern that you needed over the winter.
Exactly.
Crystal, we appreciate that. Great picture, by the way, darling, you tweeted out this morning. The sunrises are still gorgeous. Yeah, you can't
Near
take that
80
away.
at the beaches this weekend.
Oh, beautiful.
I know.
Beautiful.
Not rubbing it in.
So there's a silver lining, no question, even with the drought. All right, let's go back and toss to Sam.
I'm not sure, Jim. Somehow 80 in Malibu still sounds like she's rubbing it in. I don't know. Just saying it sounds like. I know. I love her, but that was oh, really, Crystal? Really? Can you just pull it right between
looks so
the
nice and sweet.
All right, let's get across the country. We have been watching a lot of big storms today, and we've got Dallas we need to talk to this morning. Hey, as a matter of fact, that anytime you get to us, #MyWeather, you know, we take this information in and we can come into your home, we can come into your school, we can come wherever you are and talk about you and your forecast. So this morning, let's check in with Heather Creekmore in Heath, Texas. Hey, Heather, good morning. How are you? You outside?
Good morning. I am. I'm a little cold, Sam.
All right. I know it's a little chilly out there, but it may be the best part of the day. Now, wait a minute. Let me just get this right, because, Heather, you got 4 kids at home, and this is important. Zach, Katie, Trevor, Drew, you go from 3 to 8. And in the winter that you've had, that's an awful lot of trying to keep everybody entertained. How have you been managing to do that?
It is, especially this last few weeks. I'm afraid we're watching way too much television. But we have been going stir crazy. We're ready to get outside again.
Hey, it's impossible to implement no TV rules when you're completely snowed in. You kind of got to give that one up. All right, let's say happy birthday to Katie, though, because wasn't it her birthday yesterday?
It was, yes. Thank you.
All right, now, so what did you do? Were you able to get the kids in and have a party?
We did. We drove to a party and it went well. It was raining on us a little bit, but it didn't dampen the mood at all.
All right, and now are you at the point to where I know we're talking about spring break coming up soon, and so that means everybody's home again. What's the word on how you guys are going to go through school? You got a lot of kids that are in a lot of different programs, would be my guess. So how are you going to take care of getting everybody's days made up?
Well, we actually homeschool, Sam.
Oh, fantastic.
So our days are kind of always the same on that front.
Good for you.
Yeah. So spring break doesn't make a whole lot of difference except for more time to do free stuff on their own versus study.
All right. Katie, hey, anything you want to know a little bit about a forecast? So anything special coming up in the next day or so that you wanted to get into?
Well, I leave early in the morning on Thursday mornings to teach a class. So
Okay.
I understand that I might not be able to make it there safely tomorrow.
All right, so let's give you your forecast, Katie. So we're going to give you the long term right here. We're going to go 1 through 11 p.m. to 1 a.m. tonight, just to let you know that you definitely have the changeover today. I'm looking at Thursday right now. You've got a 23-degree low temperature. You're coming right around early Thursday morning, so I'm still a little concerned that all that's going to be still a little bit icy at that point. So we're looking at that entire line today. The 23-24 is for tomorrow morning, your Thursday morning. So I would take a little extra care in the morning because those roads are going to be icy at that point. But I just want to give you something to look forward to. And I'm looking all the way ahead. I pulled up the 10-day for you. I'm looking all the way ahead, Katie, to Monday when I can get you to the 60s. So that
Great.
I hope that's good
Sounds
news.
good.
Thank you for doing the hashtag MyWeather, Katie. You guys have a great day.
The garden is the story of our lives, told and retold. It's as old as our time on Earth and as new as tomorrow. You can have a yard, or slightly less. Gardening isn't about where we choose to live. It's about how we choose to live. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
Build weather invention.
Wow, anybody else surprised that actually worked? Mother Nature can absolutely change people.
I'm ready to get out of here and create a new track.
This is a tornado emergency.
It was hard to believe weather could do that.
Never seen anything like this in my life.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Are you still getting heartburn flare-ups? Time for a new routine. Try Nexium 24 Hour, the latest choice for frequent heartburn. And get Nexium Level Protection.
I'm home.
Everything's fine.
Of all the things that happen on your wooden surfaces, disinfecting has to be one of them. Clorox Disinfecting Wipes.
Most homes have air leaks and drafts that waste as much energy as leaving a window open in your home all year long. Call Champion Windows at 844-4CHAMPION. When you buy 2 rooms of windows, you'll get the 3rd room free. Call today, because every home needs a champion.
It's easy to buy insurance and forget about it. But the more you learn about your coverage, the more gaps you might find. Like how you thought you were covered for this.
Check it out, Mom.
When you're really only covered for this. Or how you figured you're covered for this when you're actually paying for this.
Danger. Warning.
You might be surprised at what's hiding in your coverage. Talk to farmers and get smarter about your insurance.
Danger.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
Whether you need a warm-up before the big race or a healthy...
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials help me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
Everyone loves the way dark clothes make them feel. And no one wants that feeling to fade. That's why there's Woolite Darks. Without harsh ingredients, it keeps darks vibrant for over 30 washes. So your love for dark clothes doesn't have to fade. For the love of darks, Woolite Darks.
Call 800-399-2752. That's 800-399-2752. 800-399-2752.
This March, one man's trash did the work. Is another man's totally awesome beer can space heater. Hi. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
50 past the hour here on MHQ. Tom Nizzle, Jim Cantori to talk about. Niz, from upstate New York, what do you think the conditions are like right now driving in Springfield, Missouri?
Oh, it's got to be
moderate snow. Temperature's been dropping.
Yeah, because everything is freezing up now, so the streets are really getting ice covered. You really got to take your time. When the visibility is that low, you have to adjust your travel speeds as well.
Absolutely, and more people are going to get into this cold as we watch this whole area just continue to sag on to the south. I would imagine central and southern Missouri are an absolute mess right now.
Well, yeah, and you take a look
at these 25 now.
Look at the temperatures. This is what is really killing us. Kansas City down to 19 degrees, so this is a quick freeze up when the snow comes in, and it is difficult. They can't pre-treat some of these areas because you got rain coming down now, so that makes it really difficult.
All right, so let's watch this. Pretty good job of the model initiating what's going to happen here. This afternoon. Is it Kentucky?
Again, the big concern here is going in through northern Kentucky, up through Lexington, maybe into Cincinnati. As we get into tonight, you see it just settles in here and stays in here and moves eastward through Charleston, West Virginia.
So Memphis, a double hit. By tonight, we've got freezing rain, sleet. Then overnight, we change to snow. On top of all that, temperatures drop into the upper teens.
To the teens.
I mean, seriously, that's huge.
Yeah, it's going to be terrible by morning because everything is going to be frozen up. Just trying to move that is going to be difficult.
All right, so this afternoon's wave of snow, 5 to 8, 8 to 12 in some spots. We move this whole thing to the east. Some of these areas, like Philly, Baltimore, and D.C. at Reagan, could have their biggest storm of the season. Talk about an end-loaded winter.
Oh, really? For the March time frame here, and we watch how this progresses.
Good today.
It's going to be a rain event. We get that break in between these two waves. Now, tonight, after about 10 o'clock, we begin to get the snow into New York City, and then overnight tonight, that cold air deepens enough for Washington through Philly, and that's going to snow throughout most of the day.
And that was at 6:30, by the way, and then we advanced it. So big problems, Philly to D.C. tomorrow morning, you think, in terms
of that's a big concern for me.
And obviously abrupt changes in temperature there as well.
Yeah, and again, right in the morning, the temperatures will be around that 32-degree mark, so roads may not start out that slick, but what happens is that snow is going to come down heavy, and it is probably going to really build up on the roadways during the day.
Tom Nizzle, you're the man. Sam Champion, some of the signs point to a warm-up as we head to next week for everybody.
That would be amazing, Jim, and I'll take it. Hey, Jim, Tom, listen to this. Have you heard this story yet about a lobster scientist who spent the last 34 days stranded alone on a frozen island near Friendship, Maine? An airdrop is the only way to get food and supplies into this area, and her friends had to implement this. Now, the harbor between the island and the mainland, as we said, completely iced over, has been for the past 3 weeks. That scientist is Diane Cowan, and she joins us live by Skype. Hey, Diane, good morning. It is really nice to see you. How are you doing? I've got to say, 34 days stranded on an island surrounded by ice. How are you?
Good morning. I'm doing great. You know how you want to slow down time? Well, we did it.
Now, you said in the commercial break when I was talking to you that it's fine with you because you love where you live and you love what you're doing. Just tell folks about that.
Yes, I work on lobsters, study the behavior and ecology of lobsters, and I'm living out here with my lobsters, living my dream, doing my research, counting them, finding out how they deal with this kind of weather. They're a cold water animal, so they're perfectly happy. I'm happy. We're all good.
Now, and so even when your friends and folks were saying, hey, the island's going to get iced out, you kind of need to get away from there, you were like, no, I'm not going to leave my work, and I'm not going to leave the lobsters out here because I need to just... was that your take?
Sure, that's correct.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your supplies. I've heard your supplies are running low. How are you with supplies? Are you okay?
I'm doing fine. I stock up for, I plan to be stuck here for 2 months tops. It's never happened, but that's what I prepare for.
Yeah.
So I'm really doing all right.
Okay, the only thing you didn't really have, I heard, was coffee. Is that true? Because that's a killer for me.
It's true. I was running low on coffee, and I'm actually out of olive oil. And I got a call from some neighbors. There's summer camps here, and they told me how to get into their house and get some olive oil.
Fantastic.
Breaking into summer
I love that you've gone renegade and you're scouring the island for it.
That's right.
You just made me a happy man. Diane Cowan, thank you so much for spending some time with us and letting everybody know that indeed you're okay and the work that you do is important and you've got supplies, but you're prepared to sit through the ice out. Let's give you your forecast quickly. We can give you the hourly for the day today, but more importantly, I want to tell you that even though you're above freezing today, don't worry about that harbor opening up. It isn't. Thursday and Friday, you're down to 2 degrees for low temperatures to 16. Your highs are in the 20s. Diane, thank you so much and all the best. Let us know when you get off the island. Guys, that was fun.
Yeah, it was.
She has her dog.
Yeah, and some olive oil now.
And some olive oil and coffee now. All the important ingredients. Have an amazing day.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear. Low 73. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Thanks for joining us on this busy Wednesday. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Keith Carson. For the next 24 hours, Winter Storm Thor will bring about everything from rain to ice to snow, and we're covering it all.
We're going to check in with our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, in just a few minutes. But first, let's look at the massive impacts this winter storm is bringing.
All right, let's take a look at, one of the things that really strikes us about this storm is that it affects a lot of people, 100 million people, some sort of impact from Thor, whether it be the snow, the sleet, the freezing rain. Also, it does have a warm side.
Or just the dropping temperatures, too.
Right.
It's going to be very impactful. So a lot going on. Now, here is what we know. A 34-year-old woman died in a Wisconsin car crash yesterday as the winter storm brought snow and high winds to the state. An SUV driver also died after a semi struck several vehicles on a slippery I-94 in central Minnesota yesterday.
And crews are prepared to spread sand and salt in the roads near Memphis, where Thursday night's low temperature could be in the single digits, and the Land Between the Lakes National Recreation Area in Golden Pond, Kentucky has pushed back its opening day due to Thor. And ice and freezing rain are moving into eastern Tennessee through the afternoon and could cause big problems for the rush hour commute.
Yeah, the timing is tough here. Chris Warren is following Winter Storm Thor from Memphis this morning. Chris, good morning to you. We've been tracking the cold air, tracking the ice on the move. Right now, though, what are you getting?
Well, right now, Jen and Keith, it is we'll call it a driving mist. Very fine, light rain coming down, but we're noticing the wind is picking up a bit. Wind advisory does go in effect at noon local time. Then there's that winter storm warning later on today as things cool down. 63 degrees at midnight last night. Now we're in the lower 50s. Some of the surrounding areas here outside of Memphis in the upper 40s. I'm walking back, so I want to show you a couple things here. First off, we take a look at the road. The road is bare and wet. And heading to Memphis, in fact, you get to Memphis going either way on this road right here. We're not too far away from Interstate 40. This is going to look much, much different. That truck's not going to be driving that fast this time tomorrow. Then we look overhead. We're going to be watching overhead for a couple things. Here's a tree and then power lines. When you factor in the possibility of freezing rain, when the tree surface gets below freezing, when the power lines get below freezing, liquid water will freeze on contact to that, and you factor in the wind, that makes things unstable. Could have spotty power outages, Jen, to go along with the snow that eventually will come and the very cold temperatures.
We literally have it all in Memphis, starting with that driving mist you talked about there, Chris. I want to show you the radar. And, Chris talked about the light precipitation, that misty, drizzly weather. That's what we have right now. Heavier rain out here that is going to move in, and then the crashing temperatures. Look at Memphis, 52. Look at Jonesboro, 38 degrees in Arkansas. There's a front in between, and we're going to get that FROPA, that frontal passage, moving through Memphis later this afternoon, and the cold air will move in and we'll have problems. Chris, with this rain coming in, did they pre-treat the roads? Is there concern that the rain coming in will wash off that pre-treatment?
That's exactly right. So they have to wait. You have to be on a standby for the Department of Transportation, because anything you do now will be pointless, and you'll have to do it later because of the rain. Especially if it's heavier, it'll wash anything away. But eventually it will be cold enough that we're looking at an all snow situation. And from midnight till about midnight last night to about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning tonight, you're looking at about a 40-degree temperature drop. So you're going from spring conditions, spring light conditions, back to a smack in the face that's called winter here in Memphis, Jen.
And we're going to sprinkle a little sleet, or maybe a lot of sleet actually, and snow mixing in on that too. Chris, thank you. Look at this forecast from Memphis. We've got temperatures by 1 o'clock in the 30s. We're in the 50s right now. And then we're going to see those icy conditions, maybe starting as freezing rain, likely changing to sleet, and then mixing with snow. We get you into the overnight, early morning tomorrow. We've got snow. And Chris talked about that wind as well. That picks up, especially overnight, early tomorrow morning. So if we get ice accumulation on the power lines or sleet, we're going to be looking at some issues with the wind coming in and perhaps some power outages. There's where the radar is right now, showing rain actually from Arkansas all the way into D.C. and Philly. 2,000 miles plus worth of precip right now. And we're going to be tracking that wintry precip overnight tonight on the move. The cold air is moving. We're also watching the ice, the freezing rain and sleet on the move as well. So by tomorrow, we're looking at snow in New York City and places like D.C. as well. And I think that area tomorrow night that we're still hanging on in the Mid-Atlantic, looking for some issues with some sleet and freezing rain even into North Carolina. Temperatures are dropping big time. Let's go over to Keith and Dr. Postel for more on that.
All right, thanks, Jen. Yeah, let's talk a little bit, Dr. Postel, about the way this front is set up, because during the summer, a lot of times the showers, the moisture ahead of it. Not the case here.
That's exactly right, Keith. That's a really good observation, because what we have now is a lot of precip, but on the cold side of the front, you can see these numbers here. Not too bad. Birmingham, Jackson, but it's not doing anything in there. It's not precipitating. All that stuff is back here where the temperatures are in the 20s, 30s, 40s, and in some cases the 50s. But if you put the surface wind flow on here and the surface front, you can see that all the precipitation is back behind that southward moving cold front. This is where the forcing for ascent is, right along that zone. And this is why we're going to continue to get colder air back in here, and that is the setup for icing later on.
And it's kind of the setup you need, because I've said before, a lot of times when the front is normally stacked, it's hard to get the moisture when the cold air moves in, but with the moisture behind it, then you got problems.
That's right. The lift is going on all the way back in this zone right in here. It is the front will be by Little Rock, Memphis. It is already, and it's going to continue to get colder even this afternoon. And watch out for this stuff right in here. This is what the model is depicting as probably freezing rain. A little bit of sleet, but I think a lot of freezing rain too, which you can see that really extends all the way from central Arkansas through western Tennessee overnight tonight. And it's going to continue on its slow southeastward movement thereafter. So there's a long duration of icing coming for the Mid-South.
And that's as the cold air gets into the surface, but it's having a harder time at the mid-levels. That's what you're thinking here?
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Look at some of these numbers here. We've got perhaps as much as a ½ of an inch of ice, not very far away from Memphis, and that it really extends all the way down to parts of central Texas. So a
long swath of an accretion of rain, which is going to freeze because the surface temperatures will be below 32 degrees.
And this obviously leads to power outages. You get to that magic number. Not a lot of wind with this, but there's enough ice. This could be a problem.
Yeah, there is. And if you want to look at, for example, in Memphis, this is a time plot here going from this afternoon to overnight tonight. This is how much ice is expected by some of the models. Over 1/2 inch of ice by tomorrow morning in Memphis is expected here, and that gets us into the widespread power outage category.
Yeah, 3/4 of that verifies we're going to have some.
That is a lot.
Some big problems. Thank you, Dr. Postel. Jen?
Winter Storm Thor is moving Boston even closer to its all-time snowiest season on record, and meteorologist Mike Seidel is there tracking it inch by inch.
We are 1/10 of an inch by 1/10 of an inch, Jen. We had some snow last night. We'll let you know how much fell, where we stand, and how warm it is today. That's really the story today in Boston. I'm glove-free for the first time in a long time, and it feels good. The forecast and what's ahead for the weekend and next week, it's coming up next.
All right, listen up. Out on that field today, you will be ready for anything. And I want you to always remember, this is the greatest team you will ever be part of.
And when they're asked, what did you do to make a difference in the world? They can say, I became a soldier.
I remember this day. He got so many compliments on this costume.
Today is Stanley's big day.
Happy birthday, Stanley.
He's 5.
I was able to determine that Stanley is an Aquarius.
Oh, that's so fitting. Throughout the whole journey, PetSmart has been there for us.
We'll get you looking great for your birthday party. Morgan here is a Pisces. Such an intellect.
Really?
Yes. Big thinker.
Pethood's better with a partner. That's why PetSmart has all you need to take care of your kids.
Meet Kyle. You name it. Dust, pollen,
and pet dander.
He's allergic to it.
Stanley Steamer is the first carpet cleaning service to be certified asthma and allergy friendly, eliminating an average of 94% of common household allergens like dust, pollen, and pet dander for a cleaner, healthier home.
Goodbye, Mr. Steamer.
Bye, Kyle.
Call now about our $99 carpet cleaning special.
Call 1-800-STEAMER. Stanley Steamer, your certified cleaner.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear. Low 73, winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85, winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
There's a myth out there that you can't do it all, that you can't be everything to everyone. Well, consider that myth shattered. This is the full line of Ram ProMaster vans and the all-new Ram ProMaster City, built to help you run the town from every direction.
Winter is hard on your face, the start of sneeze season, and the wind-blown watery eyes. That's why Puffs Plus Lotion is gentle on sensitive skin, so you can always put your best face forward. A face in need deserves Puffs indeed, and try Puffs Soft Pack today.
We're here today asking kids what their favorite vegetable is.
Kids?
Now we're going to give those same kids Bush's baked beans.
That's good.
Bush's baked beans, the vegetable that kids love.
Winter Storm Thor continues to push its way east. It's going to bring a mix of freezing rain, snow, and much colder temperatures right behind it.
Yeah, in Boston, they picked up an additional 1.6 inches of snow this week, bringing them just 1.9 inches shy of tying the seasonal snowfall record of 107.6 inches.
We are not just keeping track of every inch. We are keeping track of every tenth of an inch of snow in Boston. So we've got the tracker going, counting up towards the snowiest season on record, potentially here in Boston.
Getting
so
close.
We're at number 2 right now.
And you know, interesting article this morning, I don't know if you read it, about how people are torn on whether or not they want to break the record or never see snow again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, my feeling is that you're so close, just break it. But I can certainly understand the feeling of, I don't care if I see another drop of snow or a flake of snow.
No, yeah, 95, 96 was an epic winter. I remember that one as well. So yeah, I can understand both sides of it.
All right, so meteorologist has been on Snow Watch, Record Snow Watch. He joins us live from Boston, Copley Square again this morning. All right, Mike, no hat, no gloves. What's the deal?
Well, it's nice and mild out here. We've moved from Copley Square over to the north end here, and this is what we've got from last night, what's left of the 1.6. It's kind of, you know, compressed and melted out here. 38 degrees. This is the warmest morning they've had here in Boston since a few days after Christmas. You look out to the cobblestone here on Atlantic Avenue, and that slush that built up last night for a couple of hours before midnight, it's gone. But you can see what we're dealing with. But this is not bad. This is a nice slow melt. This is what we need in Boston. We don't want a big warm up. We don't want a lot of heavy rain, because that melts the snow too fast, and we also have to be concerned with all the weight on the roofs. Take you back to last night, Copley Square. There you go. Talking about the snowfall coming down. It didn't snow very hard, just for a few hours. Then we had a couple hours of some freezing rain. That was not an issue, because after midnight, or right around midnight, the temperature jumped from 32 to 33. Keith, Jen?
All right, thanks, Mike. Yeah, a little bit of a warm-up there, but it's true. He's been in Boston basically the whole month. This is the first time I think I've seen him without gloves.
Well, I took a look back at the temperatures in Boston, and the last time, they're going to be in the 40s today, low 40s. The last time they were this warm was in early January, mid-January, before this all started.
Which I think was a record. I think I saw Fisher tweet something about that. Let's talk about the timing here. Obviously, it's warm enough for rain right now.
Right. Okay, so we timed the system out, and the bulk of the system is actually tracking south of Boston. We are on the northern edge of things tomorrow. So I mean, it's really a 50-50 chance that we're going to see enough.
Here's our official forecast is not enough, but I mean, you know, to be off by 0.9 inches wouldn't be shocking. So you want to make Mike take a bet on it?
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure you put a little money on this, right? A little wager. Can the meteorologist actually bet on the forecast?
Sure, yeah. Mike, what do you got? Over or under?
Well, it's not baseball. I'm not Pete Rose. I guess I could bet on it. But I don't think I've seen the new NAM, which I know is not a highly regarded model. I've looked at the latest RPM. I don't think we're going to do it. I think that snow's going to stay to the south. We're going to have that cold, dry air coming in. One of the issues that we've had with all the snow is mass transit. You probably heard about this over the course of the past 4 or 5 weeks. Take a look. MBTA now is considering giving a compensation to its customers, either by giving them maybe some free fares for a week. That would cost them $6 million, or even rebates and discounts for monthly pass holders. It's still in the early stages, but they're trying to smooth out the rough edges, because it has been really a month from hell trying to get around on the T and the bus service and the train service. Keith and Jen, this can't go away too soon. By the way, after tomorrow, we're home free for a while. No snow, no storms, some sunshine, and again, temperatures near 40, which should keep the meltdown at a slow pace.
All right, thank you, Mike. I think most people are with him on taking the under. It's close.
It's close. I know. You know, I said it over the weekend, but I don't think we'll do it with this system. All right, so you just heard about Boston here. They're hoping to give back to some of the customers that have been dealing with the woes for travel. Now, coming up next, we're going to talk about the snow, the sleet, the freezing rain that's going to affect travel. We're focusing on that.
You can't predict the market, but at T. Rowe Price, we've helped guide our clients through good times and bad. Our experienced investment professionals are one reason over 85% of our mutual funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So in a variety of markets, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
Home, Dad.
Thanks, buddy.
Does he know what he's doing?
He knows what he's doing.
Ready, Star Command. Prepare for launch.
This should be good.
To infinity!
We all have a Disney side.
Everyone in the car, let's go get them.
And the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
It's March. Time to seize the moment at your local Hyundai dealer. Right now, get a 2015 Elantra for just 0% APR for 60 months. Plus, get $1,500 March bonus cash. Take advantage of these limited time offers and upgrade to the award-winning Elantra. But hurry, time is running out. The Hyundai Seize the Moment sales event ends March 31st. Seize your Elantra today for 0% APR for 60 months. Plus, get $1,500 March bonus cash.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind.
I think I just made Mother Nature my bet.
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials help me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
To get your free 30-day supply of Symetrin, just pay shipping and handling. Call 1-800-899-8314, 1-800-899-8314.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Stay tuned for your Local on the 8s, brought to you by Secret. Fearlessness apply daily.
With Secret Outlast Clear Gel, you're ready no matter how long your day gets.
Stay still, like a statue. All right, sweetie. Just like a statue. Just one more. Hold still, like a statue. Really? Look here. Look at this. Where'd he go? All right.
Our new formula gives you 48-hour odor protection and goes on clear for no white marks. Secret Outlast Clear Gel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82, winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
All right, welcome back to Weather Center Live, and we're looking at Oklahoma City right now, relatively quiet. You can see things going pretty good, and not much precipitation right now, but obviously a wintry mix going to be moving in as that front moves in as well. We're going to talk about some travel concerns not only in Oklahoma City, but across much of the Mid-South as well. So that's something we're going to continue to watch. All right, let's talk about how this is going to play out across some interstates here. We'll take Interstate 40. Memphis right now, rain. We have Chris Warren there. Not a whole lot going on, but again, there's a lot of cold air with this, and that's where a lot of the precipitation is behind the front itself. So we advance this through the afternoon. There comes that cold air coming down Interstate 40, so Oklahoma City changing over to snow. It's probably not going to be a clean transition, though. We'll be seeing some sleet, maybe some freezing rain in there. Looks like some big freezing rain, a possibility in Memphis. 6 o'clock there in through Nashville, flirting with that rain line, maybe getting some of that freezing rain in there as well. And now the cold air really comes down hard after that. Midnight, you're getting that rain snow line trying to push to the south to 40. 40 actually going to end up as a little bit of a dividing line here. Memphis should be dealing with freezing rain through 1 a.m. Oklahoma City, the good news is at that point, they'll be quieting down from the precipitation, the back end of that thing cutting off, but it could be pretty rough as we head into the evening because that cold air will continue to move through. So, Jen, that's something we're going to have to watch for quite a while.
Yeah, really, this is where we're seeing the problems start, though, is from Missouri right down into Arkansas and Oklahoma. We're seeing concerns about the roadways. So let's talk more about that. Winter Storm Thor bringing this wintry mix of snow and ice around Oklahoma City. And Cody Boyd from Oklahoma DOT joins us now on the line. Cody, thanks for joining us. So first of all, what are the road conditions like right now?
Well, currently in the Oklahoma City metro area, we're still monitoring the conditions as we're getting down close to freezing temperature and beginning to see some of that precipitation. But currently we have clear conditions in Oklahoma City metro that our crews are preparing to begin treating very soon.
Yeah, it looks like the precip that we're going to get across the area will be fairly light. Will that make it easier for crews to treat the roads?
It may, but we'll still be out there definitely focusing on those areas that we know could freeze before roadways, like our bridges and overpasses and ramps. So we'll be pre-treating those, due to the precipitation that could freeze on the ground.
You know, as the winds pick up too, are the windy conditions going to create any issues?
No, in Oklahoma, we're used to dealing with wind, and that's just part of it. We'll definitely be laying lots of material down, if the wind moves it around, and going back and laying down more layers as we get, further precipitation throughout the day.
You guys have had a busy winter, as a lot of folks have had. What do you want to tell your drivers in the area about how to handle this winter storm any differently from the other ones?
Always, we like to tell drivers to plan plenty of extra travel time, and there may be a lot of people who are already at work now, but maybe leaving later in the day. Just take it slow, leave extra distance between other cars on the highway, and give our trucks and plows plenty of room as they're laying down salt and sand and plowing the roadways.
Cody Boyd from the Oklahoma DOT, thank you for joining us. And I think you hit on a good point there, that it's going to be changing conditions. Right. Different from when people went to work this morning. It's going to be much colder and potentially icy on the way home.
Luckily, well advertised, so that should help.
Yes,
hopefully.
Yes. All right, so Winter Storm Thor's impacts are widespread, they are messy, and we are going to see drastic temperature swings.
Yeah, from Memphis and Washington, D.C. to Philadelphia and New York City, we're tracking what promises to be an active couple of days.
And our extended coverage continues right here. Stay with the Weather Channel. We'll have a special report on Winter Storm Thor. If you're away from your TV, you can get constant updates on weather.com and our mobile app.
Introducing new Flonase Allergy Relief Nasal Spray. Now available over the counter in full prescription strength. When we breathe in allergens, our bodies react by overproducing 6 key inflammatory substances that cause our symptoms. The leading allergy pill only controls 1. Flonase controls 6. And 6 is greater than 1. Flonase, the 24-hour relief that outperforms the #1 allergy pill. So go ahead, inhale life. New Flonase. 6 is greater than 1. This changes everything.
Toilet's fixed.
Of all the things that happen on your wooden surfaces, disinfecting has to be one of them. Clorox Disinfecting Wipes.
It's here. New Fancy Feast broths with chicken. Silky smooth or creamy broths. Now with the real chicken she loves. Never any byproducts or fillers. Being a cat just got more enjoyable. Fancy Feast broths with chicken.
Is your back acting up again? Is lower back pain a daily drain? If you're one of the millions who suffer from the agony of lower back pain, you need Be Active, the revolutionary new pressure system that helps ease discomfort in your lower back, buttocks, and legs. Watch. Just slip on Be Active and tighten the strap. You'll soon begin experiencing pain relief. Look, back pain often radiates from the lower back to your lower extremities. But apply Be Active to the point in the calf muscle to relieve pain. The secret is the pressure pad that gently compresses, alleviating pain to the nerve and lower back.
Be Active provides firm pressure behind the knee on the specific pressure point, which can help relieve the pain and suffering from sciatica.
I just slide it on, I tighten the strap, I feel the pressure point right behind my knee, and right away I feel the release of pain in my lower back.
Wow, I can feel comfort already.
It's like right away relief.
I just put it on, but I can feel it already easing the pain.
You can't see the relief? I can feel it.
It kind of feels like it's relaxing that muscle.
But now I don't feel the pain at all. This is really something.
Be Active gives you the ability to be active again. Wear it while exercising. Keep up with the kids. It's invisible under clothing, comfortable enough to sleep in. Be Active easily adjusts to fit almost any leg. Be Active is always there to deliver the pain relief you need. Now feel the freedom of being active again with the pressure point therapy of Be Active for just $19.99. But wait, call now and we'll double the offer free. Just pay separate processing. If you don't begin to feel quick back relief, send it back and owe nothing. You get it all for just $19.99. So call or click now.
To order, call 1-800-732-6143. That's 1-800-732-6143. Or go online at beactivebrace.com. Call or click today. That's 1-800-732-6143.
Something special happens when you come to TransUnion.com. You get in the know. When you're in the know about your credit, you feel confident, ready for anything. At TransUnion.com, you get instant credit alerts to keep you in sync. You can even lock and unlock your TransUnion report with the swipe of a finger. Come to TransUnion.com and get in the know.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bet.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
This is Winter Storm Thor. Look at it. It spans nearly 2,000 miles with clouds and precip all the way from New Mexico into Washington, D.C.
Yeah, and here's what we expect Thor will do by the time it's done. How much snow this storm will leave behind from New Mexico to New England. We think we're going to see a decent swath, one of my favorite words, by the way, across parts of the mid-Atlantic. Look, Philadelphia right in the middle of it. Lexington, Kentucky as well.
Yep, a good chunk of Kentucky could see 5 to 8 inches of snow.
All right, thanks for staying with us on Weather Center Live. I'm Keith Carson.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. So we're tracking Winter Storm Thor and its wide-ranging impacts. We've been feeling it actually for days. It started in California, but now we're tracking the winter side here across the country.
Yeah, it seemed like a while ago. Here's the latest on Thor. Over 500 flights in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth International have been canceled ahead of this winter storm. Meanwhile, officials blame icy roads for a 3-car crash that killed a driver near Cairo, Michigan yesterday. And West Virginia Governor Earl Ray Tomblin issued a statewide state of preparedness for Thor, which includes mobilizing the National Guard. And the National Weather Service warns Kentucky will see troubles and possible power outages from 5 to 10 inches of snow forecast there.
All right, Keith, so we are tracking some big impacts, and we put it all into one big, we're going to call it a mega planner here, so you can continue to plan your day and your evening and your tomorrow. So we look at the wide-ranging impacts, and the purple is where we're expecting the ice. First stop is in Memphis, where we are going to be finding rain to start, and you're getting that misty rain right now. Then as the cold air moves in, we change over to freezing rain. Tomorrow morning, we still have either some sleet or freezing rain, and then we're going to see that mix and ending with snow as the cold air comes on in. Let's go up to Louisville, another city that's going to see some big impacts. For us, we start as rain, and we've got the rain out there. We see it through lunchtime. Into the evening, though, the cold air moves in, and we change over to snow. And so your evening ride is going to be a tough one. It continues through the overnight into early tomorrow morning for you there in Louisville. And then we go to Washington, D.C., where we've had some off and on showers already. There may be a break, but we'll get more rain back in for the commute home, and it will be rain. The cold air moves in overnight tonight, so tomorrow morning we start our day with snow, inches of snow in our forecast in D.C., impactful for you, and then finally things wrap up by Thursday night. So a busy next 36 hours here, Keith.
All right, thank you, Jen. Winter Storm Thor bringing dangerous ice and freezing rain to Tennessee this afternoon and this evening. Chris Warren live for us in Memphis, Tennessee. Chris?
Hello to you, Keith. It's still ahead of the main event. It's getting colder, but it's still raining. When it does get cold enough for snow, you do need to be prepared. And Dale Lane, the director of the Shelby County EMA, is with us right now. And Dale, will you tell us what's the game plan going forward right now that we're ahead of this big event?
Right now, our team at the Emergency Operations Center is monitoring the impacts of a storm. You know, as it moves towards us, we're trying to determine the scope and the impact that those other communities are having. We're also planning out for this afternoon to make sure that we have those public safety disciplines in-house with us, law enforcement, fire, public health, public works, and coordinating with the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency to make sure that we provide unity of effort for the community, because this is going to be a region-wide event.
And Shelby County includes Memphis. Right. And given the timing of this, coming in the late afternoon, early evening, how does the timing of this and the possible impacts to rush hour play into things?
Well, it looks like, according to the latest models, that it's going to come in, it should begin in the middle of our rush hour. And our hope is that the roads will remain, you know, that they're warm enough that we won't see dramatic disruptions, that we can get through that rush hour before the major impact gets here.
What about the pre-treating of roads?
Well, Roads Department this morning told me that they're going to go ahead around noon and begin treating the bridges and overpasses. They're not sure how much good that's going to do with the rain, but they're also looking for a window. If we can get a break in the rain, they're going to get out and they'll be working really hard. One of the things that they're going to be looking at is we begin to transition over to the frozen precipitation, and that's when the salt trucks will start rolling, and they'll be out working really hard like they've been over the last several weeks.
What's the message to people watching really quickly?
Well, the main thing is, you know, we don't want to get fearful. We just want to be prepared. And so if we can, if you don't have to travel, that's probably the best message. If you do, the biggest thing you can do is slow down and look out for the person around you, because unfortunately some people drive really too fast in this. So what we're asking, if you don't, be prepared. Make sure your car's full of fuel, your cell phone's charged up, family members know where you are, where you're going, so if you were to get stranded. So just basically, if you take those basic precautions, dress in layers, have warm clothing, we should get through this just fine.
All right, Dale Lane with Shelby County EMA. We appreciate your time.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much. And again, Keith, be prepared, because it is coming. It's just a matter of exactly when, and it does look like it's happening around rush hour, so we will stay tuned for sure.
All right, thank you, Chris. Yep, be prepared. You don't have to be afraid of it. Just be ready. All right, let's go over now to Dr. Postel and Jen. We're going to talk about how fine a line it is between that rain, snow, sleet, everything.
And how the whole situation is going to unfold, which is very interesting and actually important when it comes to the forecast. So, Greg, we're tracking the front, and just the front itself is interesting in the placement of it right now.
It's way out ahead of all the precipitation.
Yeah.
I mean, all the precip is behind the front on the cold side of it, right? So here, the air is going to be getting progressively colder with that north wind, and we're going to see the transformation from this rain over to ice, and then probably eventually a little bit of snow as we go on through the overnight hours. So you can see that tonight, here's our forecast, Jen. We've got basically Little Rock to Memphis to Nashville, all the way up through parts of Kentucky. This little zone of pink is probably going to be sleet and then freezing rain just to the south.
And you know how we get to this point, I think, is very interesting, and how the atmosphere above you really makes a difference, because you'll feel the cold air come in at first where we live, right? But it's what's happening aloft which is going to determine what happens here.
Right. So let's go off with a sounding, say, for example, right now in Memphis. You saw the radar. It's all rain there in Memphis. So the temperature everywhere below the clouds, essentially, is above freezing. But as that cold air continues to work in, Jen, it comes in right at the ground first because it's the most dense. So we're going to see that cold air coming in. Say Memphis's temperature comes down to the 20s somewhere, and then we get what's called freezing rain. That will be the first thing where we start to see ice accumulate, rain coming down, and then freezing on contact. Then more cold air starts to come in as that front goes farther and farther away to the south. Then we get sleet. And then finally, if it gets cold enough everywhere across the board, if that cold air aloft comes in all the way throughout the clouds, then we get
snow. This is a great rendition of how the atmosphere is going to change in Memphis over the next 24 hours.
That's what it looks like tonight, and tomorrow is really not much different. You're going to see it tomorrow, that wintry mix extend all the way from the south to the mid-Atlantic, and snow back in the cold air where it's much deeper.
Greg, thank you.
Yep.
Keith, back to you.
All right, thanks, guys. Very interesting stuff. You know, there is a part of this storm, though, that will be rain. Obviously, we're focused on the wintry side, but you take a look right now. Memphis dealing with rain. They'll change over, but some parts of Mississippi, Alabama, and through Atlanta will be largely a rain event because there is a warm component to this storm system for sure. Here's what we're dealing with today. Thunderstorms Jackson possible down and through central parts of Texas as well by tonight. Again, moving through northern parts of Georgia in through Alabama, Mississippi. The closer you get to the coastline, the better chance you have of it staying all rain. And again, you know, after a couple of winter weather advisories over the past few weeks in a place like Atlanta, we're not concerned with the metro area here for changing over. It's in fact going to be in the 70s today, but there will be a little bit of icing possible to the north and northwest. So that rain snow line and the freezing line getting all the way down south for quite a bit. Take a look at these temperatures. Watch this front come through from 69, 70, and then right back down into the 40s and 30s by tonight. Jen?
Keith, thank you. Winter Storm Thor promises to be a thorn in the side of travelers, especially as it moves into the I-95 corridor. Coming up, detailed timing from Washington, D.C. north to Boston. And Boston, just 2 inches away from its snowiest season on record. Will Boston get there? We'll talk about the latest chances up next.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear. Low 73. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Need you on the runway later.
Don't let a severe cold hold you back. Get Theraflu with the power of 3 medicines to take on your worst pain and fever, cough, and nasal congestion. It breaks you free from your toughest cold and flu symptoms. Theraflu, serious power.
Your relationship with your dog is pure. It's innocent. It's work, but it's perfect. You wouldn't trade it for the world. So protect your dog with Trifexis. Trifexis is the monthly beef-flavored tablet that prevents heartworm disease, kills fleas, and prevents infestations, and treats and controls hook, round, and whipworm infections. Treatment with fewer than 3 monthly doses after exposure to mosquitoes may not provide complete heartworm prevention. The most common adverse reactions were vomiting, depression, and itching. Serious adverse reactions have been reported following concurrent extralabel use of ivermectin with spinosad, one of the components of Trifexis. Prior to administration, dogs should be tested for existing heartworm infection. You'll take it all, the good and the bad, because that's what makes your relationship irreplaceable. Protect your dog all year long with the 3-in-1 power of Trifexis. Available by prescription only. Talk to your veterinarian about how to protect every second you share together.
良質熟練の技革新1000年の歴史を持つ文化が最先端の製造技術を使うと待てよあれこれってクライスラー
Reliability is now an American thing. Introducing the all-new Chrysler 200. America's import. Find it at Chrysler.com.
Hi, Phil Swift here. This is FlexShot, the easy way to caulk, bond, and seal virtually everything.
And it's so easy to use. Simply push the trigger to make quick repairs with pinpoint accuracy. FlexShot fills huge cracks and holes, making everything completely waterproof.
FlexShot comes out nice and thick. It fills in large cracks and holes, and when you stop, it stops. And it dries to this. A super tough, stretchy rubber. It expands and contracts.
Water gushes out of this huge hole. But after it's sealed with FlexShot, there's absolutely no leaks. That's amazing. FlexShot is a super strong adhesive. It's ideal for all your repairs.
To show you the strength of FlexShot, I'm going to blast holes in that boat with this cannon. Ready? Look at all this damage! And we're going to repair it using FlexShot. FlexShot sealed every hole. Imagine what you can do with the power of FlexShot.
This incredible formula lasts up to 30 years and is mildew resistant, perfect for kitchens and baths.
Messy caulks dry out. What a waste! But with FlexShot, there's no waste. You can use it over and over again.
You can get FlexShot for just $19.99. Plus, we'll include this extension tube. But wait, we're going to double your order. That's 2 cans of FlexShot. Plus, I'll throw in a free handy can of FlexSeal, the easy way to stop leaks fast. You get it all for just $19.99. Order now.
To order, call 1-800-738-4541. That's 1-800-738-4541. Or go to FlexShotTVOffer.com. This offer is not available in stores, so call or click now.
My lenses have a sunset mode, and an early morning mode, and a partly sunny mode, and an outside to clear inside mode.
Transition's signature adaptive lenses now have Chromia 7 technology, making them more responsive than ever to changing light. So life can look more vivid and vibrant. Why settle for a lens with just one mode? Experience life well lit. Speak with your eye care professional to upgrade your lenses to Transition's signature.
Boston currently standing at 105.7 inches of snow, but Winter Storm Thor isn't quite done with the city yet.
No, our Mike Seidel is live in Boston. All right, Mike, we've got more snow in the forecast. We were talking about the record out there. What I want to know, though, is will you notice 1.9 inches of snow on top of these big piles you got?
Well, what it does is it covers up the dirty, muddy snow. So aesthetically, it's nice. That's how you know it's snow, because the dirty snow turns white again. Hey, you know, the snow's had a lot of impact on schools, commerce, mass transit, and how about on the Old Town trolley tours? We got Bubba here, Bernie Scala.
Scannell.
Scannell, sorry.
That's all right.
I'm thinking of scallops I had for dinner at Legal.
Scallops, scally bread. Hey,
that's right. Tell me how that's impacted your trolley tours, because we've had a lot of snow. It's obviously kept folks out of town.
It's slowed things down a little bit, and I wouldn't say tremendously. We were closed a couple of days when the city was shut down because the heavy snow through the couple of blizzards that we got back to back there. The biggest problem's just been driving around the cities with the narrow streets, with the snowbanks and stuff. But, you know, we've kept our spirits high. There's still a lot of people coming to the city to visit. They want to see this beautiful city of ours. And, you know, they're having a good time. We're giving them a good tour and doing the best we can with what we got.
Has anybody specifically come to take the tour so they could see all the snow?
Well, keep hoping that some of you weather people might come out and do that, but not really. I think people just, you know, they book their vacations in advance, and whatever they get, you know? Just like going to Disney World, but different.
And personally, what's your take? Do you want to break the record? Or...
Come on, of course we want to break the record.
I thought so. You want
we're this close. We want T-shirts, hats,
bumper stickers,
maybe a duck boat parade saying we broke the record. Who knows? You know.
That's my feeling. But I've also talked to some of your friends, some locals that have said, you know, enough is enough. We don't want to see any more snow. But I say, if we're this close, we might as well. Wrap
break it. Those kind of people aren't true New Englanders.
There you go.
True New Englanders look at this and say, yeah, why not? Let's get it done.
And so now we're awaiting what they call the first tank top day in Boston.
That's right. Well, that was going to be today, but the sun didn't come out.
Yeah, I know.
The temperatures are there, but not the sun.
Sunny and 40 is tank top weather.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there you go. Sunny and 40 is tank top weather here in Boston. As I like to say, 40 is the new 70 in Boston.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Bernie Scott, thank you.
Nice
Bubba.
talking to you.
Yeah,
nice
good luck with your tour. You've got you had some folks go out early.
Get going, exactly.
Okay,
so.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And there you go.
All right, that was fantastic. But temperatures in the 40s, I'm still wearing a hat and gloves and my winter coat here, so it's all relative, right? Now, one of the great equalizers, though, is freezing rain. And we're going to be dealing with that on the roads in spots. And I want to talk about travel. And when we talk about I-95 travel, we've got rain to start at first. And we're going to see that from D.C. up towards Philly, up towards New York City. We look at that, and then overnight tonight, the cold air moves in, and we're going to be looking at that changeover to snow in New York City to Philly. We're going to be watching that. Boston, for you, it is just south of town. I mean, look at the timing. This is tomorrow afternoon, right around rush hour. South of town, you have a better chance of seeing the snow than you are north of town and even in town. So I-95 will be dealing with a snowy mess on the roads, on the interstate, and all the feeder roads leading into I-95 as we get to through the day tomorrow into tomorrow evening. Not likely to see a lot of freezing rain or sleet up here. It should mainly be rain and then a changeover. And there'll be some wintry mix in the changeover, but then a changeover to all snow again by the time we get through the day. Overnight tonight and through the day tomorrow, it will be snow and then moving out tomorrow night. So that's what we are dealing with when it comes to travel on I-95. Air travel, too, will be impacted. You know, we see lots of delays today at our busy hubs, including in Philadelphia because of low clouds. We're going to be looking for some snow delays for you tomorrow as well, potentially at some of the airports like Philly. We'll have to keep an eye on New York City. And, you know, Keith, I don't think this is a situation where we'll see a ton of cancellations, but there'll be some. I mean, you know, we saw it in Dallas today, 30% of their schedule.
Busy place. We've got some good news, though. After weeks of relentless snow, is there a light at the end of this cold, dark tunnel?
Coming up, we've got a potential pattern shift that might, just might, finally usher in the warmth of spring.
Fiber One now makes cookies. Find them in the cookie aisle.
Happy birthday! Make a wish, buddy. Okay, now Mom's gonna cut the cake.
We all have a Disney side,
Who wants ice cream?
and the best place to show it is Disney Parks. So come to the place where the entire family can laugh, let loose, and play together. Disney Parks. Come on, it's time to show your Disney side.
Atlantic Beach, Florida. Oh, love it. Houma, Louisiana. Oh, fantastic food. Carefree, Arkansas. Been there. Looneyville, Texas. Done that. Punxsutawney, Pennsylvania. Oh, Phil and I go way back. Love that little animal.
Weekday mornings, Jim Cantori, Sam Champion, and Jennifer Delgado on AMHQ, starting at 7.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here, and that's just Sam.
Weekday mornings at 7, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
Wow, I've been Claritin Clear for 10 days.
When your allergies start, doctors recommend taking one non-drowsy Claritin every day during your allergy season for continuous relief.
18 days.
17 days.
22 days of continuous relief.
Live Claritin Clear every day.
It's back. Olive Garden's buy one, take one, starting at $12.99. Choose from a variety of entrees like new citrus chicken Sorrento and take home another free. It's double the delicious. Buy one, take one, starting at $12.99 at Olive Garden.
The future of the market is never clear, but at T. Rowe Price, we can help guide your retirement savings. Our experience is one reason 100% of our retirement funds beat their 10-year Lipper averages. So wherever your long-term goals take you, we can help you feel confident. Request a prospectus or summary prospectus with investment information, risks, fees, and expenses to read and consider carefully before investing. Call us or your advisor. T. Rowe Price. Invest with confidence.
You're getting 3 here. All right, here goes.
Oh. Cheddar, sour cream and onion, and salt and vinegar.
Wow. How did you do that?
I can see through the blindfold. Pringles!
When our little girl was born, we got a Subaru. It's where she said her first word, saw her first day of school, bye-bye, made a best friend forever.
Oh my God!
The back seat of my Subaru is where she grew up.
What?
The two.
It makes me happy to go on the computer. I like feeling smart.
Internet Essentials from Comcast has brought low-cost internet access to over 1.4 million low-income people at home.
Internet Essentials help me progress in my schoolwork. It helped my grades move higher.
Today, it's the largest broadband adoption program in America.
It helped me a lot.
Comcast NBC Universal, helping to bridge the digital divide.
What we love is the challenge. What is the challenge when you walk in this house? It's not just dusting the thing off. It is giving it an entirely new facelift. It's more than a job. There's a heart behind this.
Watch an all-new Fixer Upper, Tuesday night at 9, only on HGTV.
All the attention. But now is a good time to start thinking about how you want things to be.
Go long.
This March, one man's trash. This is perfect. Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier. Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
And welcome back to Weather Center Live. You are looking at New York City. You got a lot of low clouds hanging over the city right now. So New York City right now, temperatures are in the 40s, but a winter storm warning, I should say, goes into effect at 7 o'clock tonight and will last through 7 p.m. tomorrow night. Rain today will change over to snow tonight and continue right through tomorrow. New York City, we are expecting about 3 to 5 inches of snow. So let's show you how it's all going to pan out for you here in New York City. We're looking at that rain. There are some showers already in the area. Rain will continue through the commute home tonight, but then the cold air moves in and we change over to snow. And we keep the snow through the overnight, through tomorrow morning. Temperatures will be in the 20s at this point. So cold day tomorrow, snow in the forecast tomorrow. And in terms of how much snowfall we're going to see, it's likely that we're going to see again that 3 to 5 inches of snow in New York City. So we're giving you a 4 here at Central Park. But south of town, if you're coming in in from northern Jersey. We're expecting the south areas to get more. And this is where we could be seeing maybe 5, 6, 7 inches of snow, like in Freehold, New Jersey, expecting 7 inches of snow for you there. That's the kind of storm track we're dealing with here. It's going to actually track south of New York City, and that's where the swath of heaviest snow is going to track. But nonetheless, New York City expecting impacts from snowfall on the roads and temperatures as well, which will be dropping into the 20s overnight tonight, and that's where we'll be tomorrow dealing with this snow. So tracking this whole system, yes, we have to do, but guys, we also have to track a change in the pattern. Are there finally signs of spring?
Oh, such good things, Dr. Postel. I think we've been seeing this for what, 6, 7 days, and it's looking good.
It is. I mean, we saw this, right? The data was telling us a while ago that we've been undergoing this pattern shift. In fact, actually, what we have right now is a lot different than what we had for the first 2/3 of February, really, because we're seeing a jet stream right now that is shaped like that, right? It's a big, deep trough in the west and a ridge in the southeast, where actually today it will be at least 75 in Atlanta, maybe even more than that.
You know, you're right, because if you think about what happened to Boston and other cities in the Northeast, those were all snow events. And I remember that struck me, that there was no rain-snow line we were dealing with. We were super cold. All these storms were offshore. Even this, with the warm side, is a change.
It is. It is a very big change, because we had that. In fact, I can go draw on this picture and show you what the pattern was really like. Back in most of February, it was like that, with a ridge in the west and a trough in the east. But now it is like this. It's totally different. We've got this pattern up there. So we're starting to see this sort of shake out really in front of your eyes, and it's going to be the continuation, I think, of what's to come. Because if you go, we know it's going to get a little bit colder over the next couple of days, but let's look beyond
the big picture.
Let's go a week from now.
You know what's interesting too? I think you felt this way, and a lot of other people did. The pattern shift was clear in the models, but we kept saying, let's see if it really is going to continue with that trend, because it's been such a brutal winter. We didn't want to jump on it and be wrong, but it's been consistent over and over again now.
And sometimes you're exactly right. You're pointing toward persistence forecasting, right? When it's been so cold for so long, or whatever for so long, why is it going to change? Why is it not going to continue to be the same? But this time, things do look pretty good for warm-ups. Let's have a look at what the jet stream will probably, most likely, in fact, look like next week. We've got the flow coming in like that. Lots of Pacific air coming in, and a double sort of barrel jet stream there. So keeping the Arctic air in Canada, where it belongs.
Right, that and Justin Bieber, get him back into Canada.
Go back.
That's what we want to see. You know, and the interesting thing is, you were saying too, the trend is your friend, and in this case, just over and over again, pushing that jet stream almost up in Canada. So what does this mean for people?
Yeah, this means much warmer times. You get your dose of winter this weekend, but as we move through, that was really looking ahead about a week. As you go through beyond that, toward mid-March, look at this pattern. We're still likely going to see the jet stream off in a position that it hasn't been in much of, certainly for the last month, where warmer times are really coming for much of the country, that in places that have been so decimated by winter for a long time now.
They have, and let's quickly talk about, I said something about the euro on my Facebook page. Everyone said, hasn't the euro been bad this year? It's still really good in the mid-range. People are thinking about a few nor'easters that it was a little bit off on.
Right, so we talk about confidence, and we are fairly confident, pretty confident, very confident actually in this pattern shift, where the operational runs here, I pointed out here in green, but then all the other members, all the other spaghetti plots, sort of different runs, different forecasts from the same model, show essentially the same thing. We're seeing a clustering around a jet stream that is shifted off to the north, meaning a lot warmer for many in the lower 48.
Love it, Dr. Postel. Back to you, Jen.
All right, but before we get to that pattern change, we still have Winter Storm Thor to deal with. And for cities like Memphis, the next 24 hours will bring rain to ice to snow. Stay with the Weather Channel for a special report on Winter Storm Thor. If you're away from your TV, constant updates on weather.com and your mobile app. We're back in 60.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, a mix of clouds and sun. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, otherwise generally clear. Low 73. Winds southeast at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Thursday, partly cloudy. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
you for joining us on this busy Wednesday. I'm Jen Carfagno.
I'm Keith Carson. The next 24 hours, Winter Storm Thor will bring everything from ice to rain to snow, and we're covering it all.
We're going to check in with our storm specialist, Dr. Greg Postel, in just a few minutes. But first, we need to look at the massive impacts this winter storm is bringing.
Yeah, it's got a large area spatially. That's always been the case with this storm. Around 80 million people impacted. Don't forget, this started on the West Coast. At one point, almost stretched the entire country. So, yeah, 80 million people, that's a lot. And it's going to be down into the mid-south as well.
Exactly. So everyone feeling impacts, whether it's from the snow or the ice or just the change in temperatures, a lot of cold air on the move. Now, here is the latest from Winter Storm Thor. So far, the winter storm has killed at least 4 people in fatal accidents in Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, and Wisconsin. Western Tennessee is prepared for a possible major ice event. Several school districts are closed today or sending students home early.
And transportation crews in North Texas are brining the roadways ahead of the winter storm. Over 500 flights in and out of Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport have already been canceled due to Thor. And ice and freezing rain are moving into eastern Tennessee this afternoon. Could be some problems for the rush hour commute.
Yeah, certainly on the western side of the state, though. We're going to get it first. Chris Warren is there in Memphis following Winter Storm Thor. And, you know, Chris, I forgot to check your temperatures. Have you noticed a drop in temperatures in the last hour?
We were just talking about that. We have noticed a change in the temperatures. Also, the wind's picking up, so that's going to make it feel even cooler. Where we are outside of Memphis, about 20 to 30-minute drive, depending on which way you're going. The road behind me eventually, depending if you get on Interstate 40, if you take one of the back roads, will get you to Memphis. The temperatures at the airport have been in the lower 50s, but where we are outside of town to the east and a little bit farther to the north, it's colder. Many spots now into the mid to upper 40s. This after lower 60s overnight. And we look right now, and it's still warm enough that we're seeing the rain coming down, the light rain, and feel the wind picking up here on my face, and on the road, it's still liquid water. I mean, that's it. It's gonna eventually freeze. I mean, we have the water on the roads right now with the rain coming down, but what we have to worry about with temperatures dropping throughout the day, usually when the sun comes up, it gets warmer. That's not the case. With the cold air moving in, and we can feel that wind coming in, it's getting colder throughout the day. We have to worry about ice accumulating on the trees and on the power lines before it changes to all snow. So, Jen, looking at those temperatures right now, we are seeing a steady change with cooler air moving in.
You know, Chris, and that's the big deal. You know, the dropping temperatures through the day, people might be caught off guard. You don't realize or you don't think about the fact that temperatures can drop from morning to evening, and that's exactly what's happening here today. So Memphis, we're down to 47, and we've got some rain showers in the area. Jonesboro, Arkansas, 36 degrees, and beyond that, you can see up into Missouri where we've got the pink and purple on the map. That's where temperatures are down into the 20s. So we're going to see that cold air move in. We've been tracking it, moving at about 15 to 25 miles per hour. So, Chris, we're tracking the cold air in as we get into the evening. Have you noticed, Chris, that there's less people on the roads today? Are people just sort of calling it and taking the day off out ahead of this incoming weather?
I haven't noticed any change since we've been out here. This is our first morning, but just looking at the amount of traffic, it does seem like people are heading in, and we are expecting this to hit around rush hour. So hopefully people will be able to miss it, maybe leave early, because if you dilly-dally at work, we know that you could end up in a very precarious situation, because we know, looking at what we see right now, this is going to look totally different this time tomorrow, Jen.
Chris, I've got that forecast here to show that. So, yeah, it's fine right now on the roads, right? But as temperatures continue to drop, we're talking 4 o'clock, we're at 33 degrees, 1 degree away from freezing. And then by 7 o'clock, we're at 31, expecting the freezing rain at this point. So the beginning of the commute might be okay, but the end of the commute will not be okay. And we see that freezing rain continue into the overnight hours. Then we see either a mixing with sleet, or maybe you'll spend some time in all sleet, but then changing back over to snow. And that's a story for you. In Memphis, snow for you tomorrow morning. The commute tomorrow morning will probably look different. I bet there won't be anyone on the roads avoiding that weather. Now, we track the rain right now, actually stretching about 2,000 miles all the way from New Mexico into the mid-Atlantic. We're going to watch that cold air continue to be on the move. So overnight tonight, the freezing precipitation moves in throughout middle Tennessee, into northern Mississippi, into northern Texas. And by tomorrow, we are watching that freezing precip, whether it's a wintry mix or sleet, all the way into parts of Virginia. Tomorrow night, still tracking this thing as we get you into north North Carolina and southeast Virginia. All right, so the cold air on the move and the temps are dropping, and we've got that ice concern. Let's send it over to Greg Postel and Keith for more.
All right, thanks, Jen. Have you ever seen the movie Crocodile Dundee?
Some of it.
Where he says, that's not a knife, this is a knife. Yes. That's this front right now. That's not a front, this is a front. This is crazy. Look at this.
Huge temperature contrast across that front. You're right. It's a very strong one. But notice all, or most, if not all, of the precipitation is on the cold side of that front. The forcing for ascent is right back in here. There's the upper front is way back here, about 200 miles to the northwest of where the surface front is. Let me show you where that is right there. If I put the wind fleas on there, you can see you got the south wind coming in here, 74 in Jackson. You got the north wind on the cold side there, where it's 50 in Little Rock, 47 now in Memphis. They lost 6 degrees in the last hour. But again, as I said, the upper forcing is right out in here because the actual frontal loft is right in that zone. So the lift in the atmosphere is here in the cold air, and that is a problem.
And let's just dismiss the idea. People say, well, the ground's too warm to accumulate. No, no, no. If that front comes through and it starts snowing hard enough, it'll accumulate.
Yeah, and it's going to probably do so pretty quickly because I think we'll still have some heavy sleet, heavy freezing rain back in a zone from, say, northern Arkansas through parts of Tennessee. You can see that by 5:30 tonight. I think we're going to see that in progress pretty significantly right along that zone. So watch out from Lexington, Paducah, Nashville, Memphis, Little Rock, everywhere in between. There is going to be significant freezing rain and sleet throughout much of the evening hours.
What are we thinking for ice accretion here? Could we have some decent numbers?
I think we'll have some places that have over ½ inch, which is widespread power outages in places. But there's also going to be sleet involved too. And then if that weren't enough, when it's all done, snow.
Well, just add that to it. You know, in general, you'd be better off with sleet, right, than freezing rain. So each hour we can keep the sleet, we'd be better off.
Better off that way.
All right, thank you, Dr. Postel. Jen, back to you.
Winter Storm Thor is going to move Boston even closer to its all-time snowiest season on record. And meteorologist Mike Seidel is there tracking it inch by inch.
Will we break the record? We'll come back and give you the forecast for later tonight and Thursday. More snow on the way. Meanwhile, today, boy, it's not quite spring yet, but we've got puddles out here. The slush from last night has melted. We'll let you know how much snow fell last night, and we'll give you a forecast for the weekend and next week. Real concern now is how fast does all this snow and ice melt? We'll let you know next here on Weather Center Live from Boston.
This program brought to you by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
What's this? A box. It takes worn out things and makes them better.
It's our biggest breakthrough yet. We're taking worn out batteries and making them into something strong. Energizer Eco Advanced, world's first long-lasting battery made with 4% recycled batteries.
The garden is the story of our lives, told and retold. It's as old as our time on Earth and as new as tomorrow. You can have a yard, or slightly less. Gardening isn't about where we choose to live. It's about how we choose to live. Miracle Grow. Life starts here.
Claritin D presents 2 allergy sufferers. One had allergies with nasal congestion, so he tried the newest allergy spray, which could take several days to feel the full effect of relief. The other went straight to the pharmacy counter for the fast, powerful relief of Claritin D. It's tough on allergies with nasal congestion and starts to work in just 30 minutes. The moral? Nothing works faster than Claritin D. Find it at the pharmacy counter and live Claritin Clear.
You know those neighbors always making weird inventions out of junk in their garage? We just gave them their own TV show.
Come on, Wind. I think I just made Mother Nature my bitch.
One man's trash.
This is perfect.
Is another man's wood-powered Jeep gasifier.
Brainstormers, premiering Sunday, March 22nd, only on the Weather Channel.
Currently in our area, 81 degrees under partly cloudy skies. Today, mostly sunny. High 82. Winds southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, mostly clear. Thursday, sunshine and clouds mixed. High 85. Winds south-southeast at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Here's our 7-day outlook.
So we've got like 60 years of experience here. And that's just Sam.
Jim Cantori, now on AMHQ. Weekday mornings at 7.
Shopping online is as easy as it gets. Wouldn't it be great if hiring plumbers, carpenters, and even piano tuners were just as simple? Thanks to Angie's List, now it is. Start shopping online from a list of top-rated providers.
Visit angieslist.com today.
Eligible for Medicare? That's a good thing, but it doesn't cover everything. Only about 80% of your Part B medical expenses. The rest is up to you. So consider an AARP Medicare Supplement Insurance Plan, insured by United Healthcare Insurance Company. Like all standardized Medicare Supplement insurance plans, they could save you in out-of-pocket medical costs. Call today to request a free decision guide. With these types of plans, you'll be able to visit any doctor or hospital that accepts Medicare patients. Plus, there are no networks and virtually no referrals needed. Join the millions who have already enrolled in the only Medicare supplement insurance plans endorsed by AARP and provided by United Healthcare Insurance Company, which has over 30 years of experience behind it. With all the good years ahead, look for the experience and commitment to go the distance with you. Call now to request your free decision guide.
You are looking at a partial roof collapse near Boston in Dorchester, Massachusetts. The collapse is about 100 feet by 100 feet in diameter. It was an abandoned building that was scheduled for demolition this summer, but thankfully there was no one inside and no injuries were reported.
Yeah, and you know, some of the good news is there's been kind of warning shots so far as some of these buildings. There was the horse one, and actually the ice skating rink was the closest we came to someone being injured. But just telling you, there's a lot of weight on there, and as we continue to melt, and if we get rain, we could have some problems with that.
Exactly. Now the story for Boston with precipitation is that we added a little more snow overnight last night. So we're continuing to tally up and count up your snowfall to see where we are with the snowfall record.
Number 2.
Still at number 2.
You know, and again, we talked about this, a lot of different feelings about whether or not people want to break
Very polarizing.
it. I'm like the guy that Mike had on last time. He was so Boston about it. He wants to win. You know, you got the Patriots, the Celtics. Let's have a parade.
2 inches, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they should have a snowflake parade, but not the real kind that you got to clean up. Something that, I don't know, melts instantly. All right, Mike Seidel. So we're, of course, tracking what the chances are of this next system, Thor, bringing snow into Boston.
Yes, it doesn't look too great. The thing about last night's snow, the 1.6 inches, it's pretty much melted. It was covering the cobblestones earlier. In fact, the remnants right here are gone. We've got the sun bleeding through the overcast. And get this, for the first time now in 6 weeks, we have cracked the magical number of 40 degrees. 40 degrees. It's 42 right now just across the water at Logan Airport. So we're getting a nice slow melt. This is what we need in Boston. We don't want a heavy rainstorm. We don't want a quick warm up. We want this snow and ice just to slowly melt off the roofs and where you see all around here. Keith, you've got the timeline on what's coming back in tomorrow. We will get some more snow though.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, the timing on this is not the hard part. It's where's the front, right? That's what we're going to watch. So here we are, just some showers down across Martha's Vineyard and Nantucket. But that front kind of stalls out, lifts in there.
We're right on the northern edge. You know, when you look at forecasts and you think about the level of uncertainty, there's different things that go into play. For Boston, it's all about the track, and the storm track is south of us. So we are on the northern edge, the extreme northern edge of the precip.
And let's call it what it is. No one would care if the record wasn't on the line. You know what I mean? Like the difference between a half inch and an inch, it doesn't matter. It
would not make a big deal if we didn't have 50 inches, you know, of snow.
Right. So New Bedford, a couple inches, but our official forecast in Boston is 1, which Mike would not get us there. And, you know, we're continuing to watch that, see if it happens. But it looks like if they don't get it, Mike, we could be waiting a while before they get more snow.
Yeah, there's nothing imminent on the horizon, or I should say intimate, or whatever the word is. God. You know, here's what's going to happen. Remember The Shining? Remember The Shining with Jack Nicholson? And they were in that hotel and all the snow. I mean, at any moment, it's going to be, here's Johnny. You've been out here so long. But anyway, back to the weather at hand. It doesn't seem like they're going to get the record this time around, but next week is dry and seasonably, coolish. Temperatures in the upper 30s. We need 2 more inches to get up to 107.7 and break the record. And all this snow has had big impacts on transportation. MBTA is now discussing how they can thank their customers for going through what they had to go through, all the delays, the shutdowns on the T and on the regional trains. They're considering compensating customers with a week of free fares. That's one of the ideas being tossed around here in Boston. And guys, real quick, look at this. This is just a bunch of snow laying here.
Wow.
So, I mean,
so
it's a real
exciting
mess,
to see just pavement.
Imminent, by the way. Imminent is what he was going for. And if you see him knocking on a door with an axe, you don't want that.
Boston Market introduces our 2 for $20 complete meal deal. For just $20, get 2 individual meals, like our all-natural rotisserie chicken, 2 classic sides, 2 drinks, and 2 desserts, all for a limited time, only at Boston Market.
Spicy Super Crunch chicken strips are not your mom's chicken strips.
What about my mom?
I like these chicken strips.
Well, we'll see how this goes. Mom, you have an admirer. She is interested?
Okay. Chicken with a kick. Spicy Super Crunch chicken strips. This is how you Sonic.
Can a protein originally found in a jellyfish improve your memory? Our scientists say yes. Researchers have discovered a protein that actually supports healthier brain function. It's the breakthrough in a supplement called Prevagen. As we age, we lose proteins that support our brain. Prevagen supplements these proteins and has been clinically shown to improve memory. It's safe and effective. For support of healthier brain function, a sharper mind, and clearer thinking, try Prevagen for yourself today.
Does anybody know how I can get a small business loan fast?
I'm a chef.
I'm a stylist.
I sell tires for your car.
I'm a doc in private practice.
That's my name above that bar.
Rapid Advance.
Help my business grow.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance.
I got approval in a day.
Rapid Advance. I got my money right away.
With Rapid, there's no hassles.
No credit checks galore.
You just need to be in business for a year or more.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or visit rapidadvance.com. Get up to $300,000 in just days. 877-GO-RAPID.
Rapid Advance. They didn't say no. Rapid Advance. They help your business grow.
Call 877-GO-RAPID or rapidadvance.com.
Your money's here.
3,000 years of history waiting to be discovered.
Body was found this morning.
Do we have any suspects yet?
It's my job to find out what happened.
3,000 years of history waiting to be discovered.
Body was found this morning.
Do we have any suspects yet?
It's my job to find out what happened. It's time.
Someone wants to find it or died trying.
Ford is coming to Miami. Now you can get behind the wheel and take the